Alright, so, here's what's going to happen, Jordan. You're going to get to say hello to welcome to the Yearlies, and then Kyle is going to say hello and welcome to the Yearlies.
And then if I don't do well enough, you're going to fire me.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kyle's making a big deal, and Kyle can only have so much weight in this tournament. Because Kyle, just so you know, when the tournament starts officially, the rules are spectators can only comment between rounds, not during a round.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
As of
We've
what?
only ever had one spectator, and so we're just inventing rules now.
It's so there's no accidental sways or anything like that from any comments, because we don't know how it could affect other people's votes and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So I can't sway anybody a certain way toward a certain game.
Well, yeah,
Because you don't know anything about video games.
Well, I know something about a video
Jordan,
game.
you're
that's
just
on
here to
this.
look pretty.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate
Right,
it.
don't be. There's not an excuse to be mean.
I know about video games.
You're the Vanna White of the whole production, Jordan.
Oh, what are you kidding me? I haven't had any surgery done.
Vanna White has an. The idea of Vanna White doing hello and welcome to the Yearly.
All right, I'm gonna.
Hello and welcome to Wheel of Fortune.
I'm gonna say y'all should do your yearlies respectively, and then we should get started.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to go first, or you want Kyle to go first?
I was just doing a bit before.
Kyle is the away. Jordan,
Kyle, go first.
I'll just mute. I'm not gonna break
I want
the
to hear
rules
what you
here.
do for your hello and welcome to the Yearlies. I want to hear it.
Kyle is the away team, so.
Okay. Kyle, let's hear it.
I'm muting.
Well,
Kyle,
you can still do it. We haven't started our round
Kyle,
yet.
you vied for Jordan's job. Do it.
Okay, so here's the problem. I've never been here at the start. I do not know at all.
Okay.
Oh, Jordan should go first. Jordan should go
Say
first.
hello and
All right.
welcome to the Yearly.
Yeah, like this, for example.
Like how I'm about to do it, you mean?
Uh-huh.
Okay. But just try not to copy exactly what I do, because I do it in a very weird way. So when I say hello to the Yearlies, I do. Hello and welcome to the Yearlies.
So like that, yeah.
I don't actually know if I can do that with my voice.
And Jordan wins again.
Then you're fired.
Hello and welcome to the Yearlies. My name is Jordan, and I'm here to fucking do whatever.
That had a certain appeal to it. I can't lie.
You got bluer
I'll get my coat.
That had a
and more
certain
anthropomorphic
These brothers
appeal
are so
to it.
fucking
and more
blue.
fan art like
These brothers are so.
and less Ukrainian.
I feel like there was a visceral edge to the way that Kyle did it. But I love the originality.
You lack the edge to keep up.
We'll keep Kyle in reserve then.
Okay.
Give him
Okay.
when we need some.
Just
do what you're
understudy.
gonna do.
Yeah,
That's like
Kyle,
when a job
yeah.
says,
Jordan, you are now the mentor to Kyle.
Okay. So if I ever randomly die in the middle of the year, at least, then Kyle
Oh
will
my
be able to
God.
carry
Yeah.
on.
Please do not tempt fate.
the show must go on.
I kind of want to know how I can die in the
In the
middle of the
event that
yearlies. Will it be a
someone dies
massive
in the
heart
yearly.
attack, or will I just be eaten by a crocodile?
Please.
Can I just say,
walk.
I hope it's
Don't
the latter,
run
because
to the
that'll be
nearest
much
exit.
more exciting.
In the events of a
I
death,
had a
Okay, imagine you
perfect
boot up a
day.
YouTube video. It's an entire channel that's got 8 subscribers and 25 views of video. Okay, and they upload the most recent video, and it's simply there's a title card at the beginning. It's like, due to having been eaten alive by a crocodile, one of our members is no longer with us, and it's like. That is probably the most esoteric thing that you can possibly show up in your YouTube recommendations, and everyone will think it's a joke.
Steve Irwin.
He was not.
he was not eaten by a crocodile.
He was
No, he
killed
was-
by a manta
He was
ray.
fondled by a
Yes.
stingray, yes.
Killed by Big Man.
Although, here's a question.
Also,
Yeah,
Jordan.
Big Man has yet to answer where he was in September of 2004, so we truly don't know.
Yeah.
Although, here's a question.
Jordan.
It was 2006, and I don't know.
Yeah. Although, here's a question. Do you think Steve Irwin was able to get a life insurance policy? Because they restrict those for dangerous jobs, and I can't imagine that crocodile hunter is a safe enough job.
Well, he always thought the crocodiles were gonna play nice, oh no, I'll get him, But
Oh yeah, that reminds me. For some reason, I got mailed an invitation to buy a life insurance policy for my new child.
Steve Irwin.
Wow, congratulations.
That's
I
the
didn't
thing.
know you were expecting.
I'm not, and that's why it's so weird. It's like, congratulations on your new child. Would you like to take out a life insurance policy? And I'm like, what?
Mick, when's the shower?
Right.
Tomorrow morning.
Do we know?
Oh,
do
shit,
we know
we
the
can
gender
make it.
yet, or is it a reveal party?
No.
Steve
Go ahead.
Irwin.
What building are
Just
we
like
blowing
my
up for?
favorite Y Frogs Y album.
Graham's gender reveal.
reveal party.
Yeah, you have the
That's
babies.
our favorite band that I don't think we've even brought up on the Yearlies yet.
Well, we have now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
pretty
band that we
awesome.
all love that we listened to together in college, and
I
they put out an album called Graham's Gender Reveal Party.
Hello and welcome to the Yearlies.
Oh shit! Now Taylor's after my job. Fuck.
At this point, we should just have everyone do it at literally the same time and just see if there's anything intelligible that comes out of it.
That'll be our finale.
Goodbye. Go
Be a-
fuck yourself, the Yearlies.
It'll be
It'll
alright.
be when we finally like debate like game of the year, like 1976 or something. It's like Pong or Pong with
Fucking cathode
colors.
rays laser
Nice.
beams.
It's fucking table tennis versus tennis for two.
And the intro is just gonna be.
That's pretty.
What's your
funny.
favorite Magnavox Odyssey game to put in the Yearlies?
Oh, dude, Game 4. So I love Game 4.
So, anyways,
What
Yeah, we should
TV
start.
overlay are you more partial to putting on your CRT?
Oh fuck off.
so just to illustrate exactly what this is for those who are a little confused by the title, we've taken. Each of us have taken our 3 favorite honorable mentions that couldn't get on the last 10 brackets. Because we wanted to give them one more shot. More specifically, I wanted to talk about Bayonetta 2.
That's why
We'll
we
see.
put this up, just so Taylor could talk about.
Even
Bayonetta
more
too.
Yeah.
Even more specifically,
So he says, but that came with its own set of problems, which you'll soon find out. But in any case, anything we forgot, anything we desperately needed to talk about, one more chance before we move on.
Yeah,
And that's what this bracket is.
even more specifically, these are not necessarily things that we put in our honorable mentions, but could just be games that we forgot,
Yes.
like entirely.
Yes.
So
We're so as such, we don't have a year in a review, and we might talk about our honorable mentions after the bracket. Because
Well, hold on, because this is from any point of our lives. Let's go over each and every one of our lives in explicit detail.
so I was born.
I was born very young.
And here I am.
it
I was
says-
born at a very young age.
I was
I
born
was
kind of old
born
for
a
my
poor
age.
black child.
It says here in the script.
My
I-
mother left before I was born.
Okay, Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah, I was about to say, my parents couldn't
Great.
even show up to my own birth.
I love that one.
Remember the Saturday Night Live bit where they give birth to 40-year-old Will Ferrell?
Yeah, that's a great one.
So in any case, yeah, we're gonna just go right into it to make sure we make par because I believe Clanky has to leave early tonight.
Early.
Well,
Yeah, sure.
we'll be able to get through the bracket.
I hope
just-
so. You know,
I
begin to
just,
get in.
I just kind of want to say hello and welcome to the Yearlies a couple more times. Now that I actually let it out, I'm like, Jordan, I know why you do it. It's pretty cathartic.
It is actually pretty fun. And my goal was to make it different every time, but it's just become the same sort of breathy moan
Yeah.
every
I
time.
imagine it's like if Garth Service was like gruntier.
Yeah.
Are people sending memes?
And welcome to the
The
Yearlies.
thing is, genuinely, there's a lot from these that if I ever make a VO reel, I will put on it because I can do amazing things with my voice, and it's mostly just fucking around doing this.
Absolutely.
What are you laughing at?
I was looking up other Magnavox Odyssey games, and
Can we just have a Yearlies for the Magnavox Odyssey?
No. I'm laughing at something totally unrelated because I just saw the name again, and this name makes me laugh every time.
Yes.
Okay.
I think we have to hear.
Game 6.
So, one of the first companies, and quite possibly one of the earliest, they are in the running for the first video game manufacturer, depending on how you judge their video game. And I always laugh whenever I see
You know, I wish I laughed harder at that.
It was founded by Bill
took
and
me-
Dave Nutting.
I waited too long to find the title that the laughter had already subsided.
I wish I laughed harder at that. I feel like a part of me has died somewhere along the way that I didn't
Nutting.
burst out in hysterical laughter.
In honor of Nutting Associates, we shall continue with the Yearlies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Continue
Oh,
with
and
the
welcome
start.
to the nutting.
Okay, let me try.
Hello, and welcome to the Magnavox Yearlies.
Okay, what?
Oh no!
Hi,
Put
my
us.
name's Graham.
Oh my God, is he okay?
I wanted to let you all know that we are with you in these trying times. We want to let you know that everything's going to be all right. Are you okay? Because I'm okay. I think that's pretty cool.
Graham's not talking to you, Kyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Mick. No, I haven't heard him laugh this much since like the one.
Since
snake
Julius
video.
escaped.
Play the snake video, by the way.
Yep.
This is a
The
snake pic.
fucking snake video.
Play the snake video right now.
Well, I'll put it in the video here, yeah.
You can
I'm
time
going to
it
put in the video
perfect.
of Mick cracking it. Well, no, I'm not going to do that because we're not doing face reveals really, other than Graham.
Yeah.
Depends on the video, actually.
By the way,
I'll just say.
I'm glad you said it, Jordan. Just for the record, this is not my face.
No, Taylor doesn't actually look like that.
Okay.
That's Bob the inappropriately loud kid.
Have you
I
seen
do
this
look
man?
like whatever. Well, actually, no, I don't have a representation.
It's not my face either, by the
Kyle
way.
is actually the
It
voice
is
of
my
Sonic.
it is my actual face.
Yeah, that's Graham's face. It's not Taylor. It's not mine. Mine is a Ukrainian polka band singer that looks exactly like me that Mick found.
Mine is me. This is what I look like.
Yeah, that is you, definitely.
It's so nice that we all let you be the mascot for the Yearlies.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you must get stopped on the streets so often for like looking like Jack
Dude,
Frost.
you're Jack Frost from SMT! And I'm like,
Christian,
Yo!
yo!
I had to explain that to Mark. Mark is like, "What the hell is this Jack Frost guy or whatever?" I'm like, I don't
know. Christian just decided our mascot was Jack Frost. I'm like, all right.
Look, nobody questioned it.
No,
it's
it's
from
true.
something called.
Gonna run out of
Nobody
though.
questioned Shadow of the Colossus. We saw where that led us.
And we're
Like-
starting round one.
Yeah, let's start the Yearlies now because it's almost
Oh, yeah,
45.
this is
Yeah,
a
we
thing.
might have to. Okay. Yearlies, 2010's, best of the rest. Let's fucking go. Okay, right at round one. Oh boy. Okay, we have Until Dawn, which we had a lot of fun with in the 2015 Yearlies. And Until Dawn, let me just cross-reference who put up Until Dawn. Until Dawn was
That
a
was me.
Clanky pick versus Bayonetta 2, which is a Taylor pick. Who
Taylor
would like to
start?
start this one?
Can Taylor start? Because Taylor has something he needs to say.
I think Taylor can start. Jordan's
All
okay
right.
with that.
Okay.
All right. We're giving you 8 minutes, starting now.
This is doomed from the start, and I'll tell you why. First of all,
Dude.
this was my plan. As I may have alluded to, I am not currently at my apartment right now. I have been stuck at various hotels as my place is getting renovated. And as such, I only brought with me a computer. My goal was to replay Bayonetta 2 before Bayonetta 3 sometime in September. And as we made this date for the 2010's honorable mentions well in advance, I was like, I'm sure I will be able to sit down and play Bayonetta 2 and have a refreshing course. I mean, I have played the game. I played it back in 2014 when it came out, but it's been a very long time. And back when I was talking about it in the honorable mentions, I wasn't able to mention as much. So I was like, I'll definitely play it. And then not only did I not get to play it, but everyone got really hot on Larry Fassbender.
Fessenden, yes.
Fassbender. I'm sorry, Fassbender.
Fastest
Keep
bender
changing.
in the West.
Now, even
It's
though,
not that we're hot on him. He's hot on Wendigos.
so even though I believe in my whole heart of heart that Bayonetta 2 is an objectively better game, I am pretty sure that Larry Fessender is just going to win because he's Larry Fessender. Now, let me just set the record straight. Bayonetta 2, from what I remember, is one of the greatest high-intensity action games I've ever played. I did replay Bayonetta 1 recently, so everything I'm about to say still holds true. It's a game where dodging feels valuable because the better you dodge, the better you get to play, because things slow down. It has some of the best boss fights you'll ever find in any video game. Bayonetta 2 especially has a fun contrast with the first game, where it remembers its first game and it empowers the character even further. It goes from something of a selfish journey to a more selfless one, and they play around with a lot of things we learned in the first one in ways that I feel make the second game meaningful. There's also a kid with a Millennium Puzzle, and I always remember that. But the fact of the matter is, last time we talked about Devil May Cry 5, and we talked about peak action games. Bayonetta 2 is the companion to that. If you like Devil May Cry 5, you'll like Bayonetta 2. Devil May Cry 5 has more mechanics. Bayonetta 2 probably has a bit more better flow. And at the end of the day, I'm selling you guys on a high-intensity action game. And if that sounds up your alley, you really can't go wrong with Bayonetta 2. I apologize to everyone for not having more to say. Fuck construction.
Can I just tell you one of the reasons why we got so hot on Fessenden? Because about a month after we filmed Yearlies 2015, I was watching. There's a horror movie roadshow kind of thing called that Joe Bob Briggs does, where he screens old obscure horror movies, and it's really cool. It's on Shudder, and he had Fessenden on, and back in my head I was going, wait a minute, I know this guy. Where do I know this guy? And I started looking around his IMDb, and I'm like, sure enough, that's the Until Dawn guy. And the movie that they showed on that night, which is actually a movie about succubi called Habits, which is a really good movie. And I'm like, this is a rare Larry Fessenden production without Wendigos, but I'm looking at his other stuff, and I'm like, holy shit, Graham and Mick weren't kidding. This guy really has a Wendigo thing. And so I had to bring it back into the Discord that we have, and I'm like, guys, the Wendigo man is legit. And so it just came from that.
Yeah.
Anyways, Clanky, you want to talk about the actual game?
Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Until Dawn is a very fun and interesting horror game. I really like the fact that it I like the fact that it can be played multiplayer and gives each person a different character, and actions have consequences in the sense of if you just kind of fuck around and you're trying to be stupid, then someone else's character will get killed. And or your own character can get killed. But in my opinion, it's even funnier when someone else's character gets killed, because then it's because you fucked up, I'm getting punished, and that creates hostility. Not only that creates tension and hostility outside of the game as well as in the game. So while the characters are all screaming at themselves for you needed to go through this door or whatever, and we're gonna all die here, you're screaming at your friends going, why didn't you leave my character alive, and everything. So I think this game is best enjoyed with other friends. I can imagine that playing this by yourself is maybe not a slog, but it's probably definitely not as much fun as it would be to play with other people. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that because these are three, we'll get to my other picks later, but because these are honorable mention picks, it's hard to say oh man, I love this game, and here's everything I love, because three other games kind of already beat it.
Just to let the audience know, Clanky actually didn't put this in his top 3. He put ARMS on, and I had to remind him that ARMS was already on a bracket.
Yeah. So
we just love ARMS that much.
I think I got so upset that ARMS basically got creamed that I wanted to subconsciously give it a second chance.
Well, there's a different day for a last place
bracket. Bayonetta 2 got creamed, and it didn't even make it onto the bracket last time.
That's fair.
You don't even know what's about to... Oh, wait, well, okay, that did happen, what you're referencing, yeah. But...
What did Bayonetta 2 get beaten by again?
Sports Friends.
It was
oh my god.
That was a case of the neighbor that moves into the house that was just constructed and is blocking the garden of the other neighbor. Sports Friends did nothing wrong, but instead of blaming the house, you blame Sports Friends.
Was that a fucking Am I the Asshole?
I think it was.
That sounds like an Am I the Asshole?
I think it was.
I'm trying to figure out here if Bayonetta 2 is something I'm going to be able to get enough people, and I feel like it's so weird. Mick likes Devil May Cry, but Mick, do you have any interest in Bayonetta 2?
Mick?
Even in silent desperation.
Got him!
No, Dylan! Larry Festival! Oh my god!
Nah, guys, he's fine. He's just buying an Odyssey online.
He's been Wendigoed.
He just
No,
can't
little
wait to
Mick
play
boy.
Game 6.
Eat the human flesh in the woods.
You know what?
Mine are turning into Wendigoten.
You know what my favorite Odyssey game is?
Wendigo.
Game 7?
Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh, it's Bowser. They redesigned him.
They did.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
How long were you
Okay.
gone for?
I don't know. I wasn't keeping track at the time.
Okay.
Okay. Taylor, what did you want to ask Mick again?
Well, what I was just saying is, it's weird because like I feel like inherently so many of you should enjoy Bayonetta 2, but I stop and I think like Mick is a Devil May Cry fan, so inherently I feel like he would enjoy Bayonetta 2. But if I asked Mick to play Bayonetta 2, would he?
No,
Okay, and why?
it's too sexy.
It's too sexy. Okay.
For your shirt?
Until Dawn has actual sex scenes.
Does it?
Okay.
Yeah.
They're directed
Yeah.
by Larry Fessenden, so they're not sexy.
There's nothing sexy about someone getting killed by a Wendigo.
Habit wasn't sexy.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a little sexy.
What's going on? There's a really big difference between like a something having a sex scene and it purposely
Yeah,
trying to titillate.
I know. Listen, I actually don't have a ton against Until Dawn, considering it's a campy horror game, and I hate both of those things. Because I actually sat down and experienced it, and I'm like, this is interesting enough for what it is. At the end of the day, though, I feel like it's very much a community-driven experience versus like a solid, like I'm having an immense amount of ecstasy sitting down playing this game. Even considering that a horror game is high intensity by nature, I still think Bayonetta 2 ekes it out. That, and I just think, Until Dawn, sometimes it works, sometimes it makes really bad characters, sometimes on purpose, and sometimes they're just bad.
And sometimes there's a syringe clown.
So
It's a syringe clown.
Honestly, I think all of the bad characters are made up by the psychiatrist therapist guy, who's literally the greatest character ever fucking written in anything ever.
I guess I'm curious to see where this goes.
As am I, honestly.
All right, does that mean we're ready to vote?
Unless
Unless
anyone
anybody
wants
has
to
anything
make
else
comments.
to say.
I'm just stealing your lines, that's all.
No, it's okay. If no one else has anything else to say, we should get to the vote. I have to decide a voting order, don't I?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry, one more thing. Just ask yourself this. Which one of these plays better on the Odyssey?
Ironically,
No.
I think it'd be Until Dawn.
Yeah, I think it actually
Yeah.
would be Until Dawn.
I think it would be
So-
Bayonetta 2.
The
We are
unlockable
going-
game 13. Sorry. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. We are going to start with Christian. So it's going to go Christian, Mick, Clanky, Graham, Taylor. And then, things will futz around. So, Christian, you're up first.
So I'd like to start by saying I don't give a fucking shit about Larry Fenderbender or anything he does. I think he sounds cool, but I'm judging these games based off these games, which neither of which I've played, based on how much I would want to play them. And at the end of the day, Until Dawn is a stronger emotional investment in me, so I'm picking that.
Really?
Not
Okay.
where I thought that was going, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I thought you were going to go for the other one, but all right. Mick.
I'm voting for Until Dawn.
Okay. Clanky.
It's gonna be Until Dawn.
Graham.
Bayonetta 2.
Okay. And Taylor.
That was very nice, Graham. That was very, very
No,
considerate
I
of
was
you.
generally going to vote for Bayonetta 2 over Until Dawn.
I really didn't think that, but it was nice of you to give me the chance, because ultimately Bayonetta 2 is going to get destroyed all over again. I might as well have not even put it on the bracket, but I'm voting for it, and we're going to see what happens in the losers bracket.
Right.
I wouldn't be too hard on it. You really don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, okay, like, to be fair, some of these entries, I'm very attached to my own. I don't have a lot of things to say about other things.
By the way, Larry Fessenden, fun fact. Larry Fessenden's third feature film was released in 2001 and is called Wendigo.
Yeah.
What?
We move on now to our next.
Weirdly, the Wendigo is like, if I remember correctly, the Wendigo in that movie only shows up in like weird dream sequences.
I think so, yeah, because they couldn't afford an actual
Oh,
Wendigo.
it's like Kangaroo Jack. Okay.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah, actually.
Wendigo Jack.
Wendigo is the Kangaroo Jack of horror movies.
Can you imagine Wendigo Jack when Anthony Anderson and Jerry O'Connell go into, instead of Australia, Alaska, and they meet a
Mama
talking
said knock
Wendigo
you
who runs
out.
off with their money. And you get Christopher Walken as the mob boss saying, "Guys, we've got to go after that Wendigo." And fun ensues.
God,
That
now I
sounds
want
amazing.
now I want Christopher Walken DLC in Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Find yourself in a
Okay.
room with a bunch of Wendigos.
But you're saying
Okay.
you wouldn't play Christopher Walken DLC in Bayonetta 2?
Okay, here's the thing.
Boobs.
Until Dawn, the movie, with Christopher Walken playing the psychiatrist.
Oh,
Tell me what you see
I don't
in
know.
this Rorschach photo.
I don't know if he'd
But
be able to
Christopher
follow up.
Walken has done video games before, so it's entirely possible that.
He did a movie. He did
One
a
of-
video game called The Ripper, I think.
He also was like True Crimes LA. I'm pretty sure.
Right,
Oh,
whatever.
he wasn't a true crime in
Yeah.
LA. It was Natalie Wood.
Anyway,
Um,
Let's
anyway.
get to the next one.
Next one, we have Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Gee, I wonder if it's a Graham pick. Let me just double check. Yeah, it is a Graham pick. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Versus From Dust, which is not the prequel to Until Dawn, which is a Mick pick. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions versus From Dust. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, Graham, you have 8 minutes. Well, not on just Spider-Man, but you all have 8 minutes starting now.
So, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions is the very first Spider-Man game made by Beanox, who would be Activision's go-to Spider-Man developer for a long time until Activision did Activision. It is a level-based Spider-Man game where you play as one of, I believe, 5 Spider-Men.
Yeah.
In different universes. There's regular, spectacular. Well, there's Spectacular, 499, Ultimate, Noir, 4. Yeah, it's 4. I miscounted. And the neat thing is that they're all played by people who have played Spider-Man in the past. Like, you have Spectacular, who's Neil Patrick Harris.
Let's go.
Ultimate is Josh Keaton, who was Spectacular Spider-Man TV series. Then you have Christopher Daniel Barnes, who is also in the Brady Bunch movies that they made in like the 90s, which
Oh,
like
yeah,
I saw
those are great.
Yeah,
Those movies are so
hysterical. And then they had like the old like 60s Spider-Man voice 2099.
Oh, that's
Um,
great.
Yeah, and each one of the levels will have like a different aesthetic or like a gimmick to it. Spectacular is mostly like the same original version because he's kind of like the baseline vanilla option. Ultimate has like a rage meter basically because he has the symbiote. Noir is a bit of like a stealth game a la the Ark series because like set in this like dark noir series, and then 2099 has a lot of like cliff diving segments. There's a lot of verticality with it.
So it's the Spider-Verse of Spider-Man video games?
Yes.
Yes.
How does it feel?
It's like a very good 3D action brawler.
Like,
Compare it to a Rocksteady Arkham game or something.
yeah, that's a good example. How about Bayonetta 2?
How about Until Dawn?
Wow.
It's probably it's definitely closer to like say Arkham Asylum. Like Arkham Asylum was at least was more level based, even though it doesn't really Arkham Asylum was technically like open world because you go around Arkham, but you could only progress through certain things.
The only real reason you ever went back is because you missed one of the fucking Riddler things.
And there's no Riddler trophies here, but there are unlockable outfits for each of the Spider people.
That's cool.
I never thought saying there are no Riddler trophies would make me feel so good.
To answer your next question about this Graham pick, yes, Nolan North is in it.
Yep, as Deadpool.
Deadpool is in this?
Yeah, he's an ultimate level. Also, once again, this is the second Spider-Man with like a level-based structure where Mysterio is the main villain because he gets actual magical powers.
Cool.
Weird that it's happened twice.
Graham, why haven't I heard of this game?
Well, probably because after Activision lost Spider-Man license, you can't buy it anywhere anymore.
Boo.
Oh,
Well, that's that
That's
would
a
be
pretty good
helpful.
reason.
That's a blow to your case.
That's yeah.
Yep.
But so there was no
what-
physical version of
on
this
eBay.
game. In other words.
No, there was.
There are physical versions.
So, okay, no. So
but you can't. Yeah, you can still play it. You just have to have either like Xbox 360 or Xbox One, because it is backwards compatible.
Good.
Actually, I'm just curious if that's hiked up the
It
price.
does cost. It does cost like $65 with the box, and for a
That is
PS4
what I
game,
was
that's
about
pretty
to look
rough.
up.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's
we are
like
not-
it's like a racing game at this point.
We are not.
Oh,
We have not judged these games on whether or not you could like still play them. We are judging them on the state that they were released and
Yeah.
how good they played then.
Like, imagine if PT was on
Well,
here, we'd give it this some respect.
listen,
Yeah.
listen.
I'm surprised
I-
it wasn't.
The price doesn't matter. If you actively cannot play it in any capacity, it does matter to me.
You can,
can
play
play
it
it.
though.
No, yeah, no. I'm just setting the record straight.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's From Dust?
So,
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
So, From Dust is it's actually kind of hard to describe. I would say it is primarily a puzzle game.
That is not the word I was expecting.
Yeah, so you play as the god of a tribal group who have just recently emerged from the caves, and they need your help to build villages and trade between them, and eventually move on and migrate further and further to their ancestral home. You play as their god, and you are limited in the things that you can do. At the beginning of the game, you can only pick up sand. You will eventually
From
unlock
dust.
the ability to pick up water and to pick up lava.
And all that changed when the Fire Nation was made.
And using the ability to pick up these things, you have to help them, because the only thing you can control are those three things, and so it becomes very hard to get your small little people to, for example, so like you need to get them across you have two islands, and you need to get people from one island to the other. And you could, the solution is in there. It's pretty simple. Pick up some lava, build a bridge.
So it's not a puzzle game in the most traditional sense. It's more
Yeah,
so.
not really, but it is fundamentally a thing of, here is your goal, and you need to manipulate the environment in order to accomplish it.
Does it lean more into simulation than puzzle?
Explain.
Like, does it become something more akin to, raising a community?
No. It is like you're almost exclusively going to be focused on the actual like puzzle elements, and like sometimes there are there's some like interesting things where like you need to so like there are these kites that you can find from these idols, and when you can get your people to run and grab the kite and bring it back to the village, it'll like repel a certain element. So like occasionally a tidal wave will come, and you need to get the kite there, or else the village will be destroyed. But you can't just pick up the kite and get it to them. You have to make sure that one of the villagers can go and grab it. And like that's like there really isn't like, you're never going to be telling people to do stuff. It is all about managing the environment and making it so that it is a habitable environment.
Right.
Have you ever seen Germa play Black and White? And if so, is it
Yeah,
any
wait,
good?
Germa, put her on the
reference,
Germa
here we
reference
go.
counter.
So
Ding!
Black and White is similar to Black and White in the sense that it is a god game. However, the difference is that Black and White is much more of a simulation and much more focused on like actually building a civilization, and where you plop down buildings, you tell people what to do, you give them jobs and stuff. The people are entirely out of your control. The only thing you have control over is sand, lava, and water, and you have to make the environment they live in habitable.
I see. Okay.
What's this game look like? What's the art style of this game like?
It is.
I looked it up. It's kind of realistic is.
Yeah, yeah. When it came out, I mean, it was
Well, like
pretty
with-
photorealistic. Yeah.
But you know what? When I look at like the lava, for example, I weirdly think of Okami. Like,
Yeah,
and I
so,
know
like-
those two things are kind of counter to each other.
I know what you. I know what you're getting at, though. I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. I assume, by the way, just the Steam version is bad, and people don't genuinely dislike this game, right?
What do you mean?
Like I hear that people are complaining on Steam that
I went on Steam to look up this game, and apparently the reviews are mixed because there are some like bugs like with it booting up and everything.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I played it on Steam and I didn't have any of those problems.
Oof. Oh, I looked on another source, and yeah, it's mid. But
yeah. So
that's okay.
I should say another thing, and this might contribute to the rough reviews. It's kind of like Portal 1 in that it is a very fun experience, but there's also not that much of it.
All right.
Like there's only 10 levels to go through.
How many hours? I could just look that up.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask Graham the same question, but I guess I could look that up too.
Why do we even pitch the games? We have the powers.
This Yearly is sponsored by Google.
Yeah.
Really? We got Google?
Yeah.
We're making it big.
They had to stop giving money to Stadia. They had to give it.
Yeah. Okay. So it's about From Dust is about 6 hours in length. But if you want to if you're doing like a completionist run, it's 12 hours.
I do like me a short game.
Shit. Not that length is necessarily a big factor, but like just.
It is in a lot of my relationships. Now.
Hang on. I'm sorry. I apologize. This is interesting. Graham, are there two different versions of Shattered Dimensions?
There might be like a DS version.
Well, no, because I see that on How Long to Beat they rank the Wii games separately.
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe because like the Wii was.
The Wii couldn't run games that were designed for other systems because
the Wii can't.
Because it was a GameCube with motion control.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I'm having fun back here. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Please have fun.
Okay, good, because I'm having lots of it.
Please clap.
I mean, after all, you might die during the Yearlies soon.
Yes, I'm. No. I hope no crocodile show up.
A crocodile
called heart attack.
I should also say, if we're talking about this, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions also got very mixed reviews.
Okay, in that case, I won't let review scores influence what my decision's going to be.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a Spider-Man game that's not Spider-Man 2018, Miles Morales, or the Spider-Man 2.
But it's also not Spider-Man Friend or Foe, which means it's pretty good.
Yeah. But also, Graham has something of a Spider-Man bias.
I don't know. We'll talk about this when we get to 2007, but I don't have a lot of fond memories of Friend or Foe. But
that's gonna be fun to talk
Will we
about.
talk about this when we get to 2007?
I hope we do. And now it's on record.
Okay, I mean, is it gonna get on the bracket?
I don't know. Graham, is it going to get on the bracket?
Graham?
I don't know.
I'm just figuring Jordan will have an excuse to talk
I think
about it.
2007
I was
is
gonna
kind of
say,
a big enough year already.
Jordan can put it as his wild card and then just use that opportunity to shit on it.
He can Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon that
That
shit.
defeats the whole purpose of the running joke of Jordan's wild cards.
Okay,
Jordan
can I
doesn't
just
like them.
Can I just say, I did just check, and so, yeah, the Wii version is different. There's, like, a Donkey Kong Jungle Beat section where you have to, like, do, like, punching.
Oh, that sounds awesome!
Yeah, that does
also,
sound really cool.
What's it called again? Also, apparently the DS version is, like, a Metroidvania.
No, what? Graham, you picked the worst version.
I like both of these things.
The only version I played was the Xbox 360 version. Also, I just want to go out there and say this for real blast of the past and tell what time I played this in. I never owned this game. I rented it from Blockbuster.
Yeah, same with Friend or Foe, yeah.
I had Friend or Foe.
Oh, I got it from Blockbuster because I was, because that was the cool thing to do back then.
Yeah.
I think I was
really.
That's where I rented most of my favorite
I
games.
miss Blockbuster. I don't know why I'm.
Blockbuster was awesome.
That's right. I rented Skyrim from Blockbuster for like a month.
Oh, shit.
Great. Yeah.
Blockbuster existed when Skyrim came out.
Yeah, it was the early 2000s. It wasn't like
I know.
2010s. That is.
No, I actually I liked Blockbuster. I liked going in and getting
was
the
awesome.
buying physical games.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, these are not the two games I think we would spend this long on.
I think we just like talking a bit to each other about things.
Yeah,
Um,
we're good company.
we are. We're great. We're in a happy mood so far today. I can't wait for that to be permeated when somebody casts off a favorite game of somebody else.
That already happened for me, but
This is
Oh well.
glad it hasn't happened for you yet.
No, it'll happen eventually. I know my luck. Shall we get to the vote?
yes.
Okay. Starting with Christian.
Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Okay. That means that Mick is next. Yeah.
From Dust.
Okay. Clanky.
From Dust.
Graham.
I just want Mick to know I played the demo of From Dust like a bajillion times. I really enjoyed it. I just never played the game.
Yeah.
But I had to play Spider-Man. I had to vote for Spider-Man.
Listen, Graham, I know.
We understand.
Yeah.
And that means that Taylor.
I really
is the
didn't want to be the tiebreaker for this one.
Sorry.
It's like on the one hand, I don't want whatever. Mick, I'm going to be nice to you next game, Spider-Man.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. Shattered Dimensions takes it.
That does
That's
mean
fine.
we don't get From Dusk Until Dawn, and that does upset me a little bit.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, From Dusk Until Dawn.
Jordan pointed it out first, and it hurts me a little bit that we don't have that.
By the way, that movie is actually pretty damn good.
From Dusk Until Dawn.
From Dusk Until Dawn, yeah.
Well,
Oh.
specifically Until Dawn from Dust.
Yeah.
Now it's Until Dawn Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which makes a shit movie.
Coming soon to the Magnavox Odyssey.
Speaking of shit that I have to say now, our next bracket.
The two longest titles.
All right, let's see how this goes. We have Middle Earth Shadow. Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor
Tongue got your cat.
versus Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor. By the way, is a Graham pick versus El-Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron, which is a Mick pick because how could it not be with that name? Who wants to go first?
I'll just say a couple of words.
Okay. Taylor will go first in this round, which is starting now.
Ever since Mick showed me his top 50 games of all time many years back, and I'm sure it's changed, it still is difficult for me to process that this game made it on his. But when I saw it, I was captivated. It just looks so cool.
I guess I'll lead in for that. So, El-Shaddai, Ascension of the Metatron, is it is kind of a what's the term for the game? Like the sort
Action
of
game?
Yeah, like the sort of it plays kind of similar to a Bayonetta, Devil May Cry sort of thing.
Action game.
Yeah. The first thing that you just need to know about is the game's visual style. It is a visual feast to the eyes. I trying to think of any other game to sort of compare it in terms of its visuals to.
Okami?
Maybe, but there's also some bits where it looks like Ikaruga, other bits where it looks almost like it has a very sort of, it's got a very psychedelic art style and like goes through a bunch of different styles as it progresses. Like some bits look more photorealistic, some bits are more experimental. It even does a thing where it occasionally turns into a 2D platformer.
Yes! 2D platformer.
To answer your question, the development was led by someone who had worked as an artist and character designer on Devil May Cry and Okami.
Okay, so this game's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous.
In terms of it, it does look really nice.
Yeah, the let's go again. The main character you play as is the biblical patriarch Enoch. After his ascension into heaven, and he becomes the scribe of heaven, otherwise known as the Metatron. However, in this, he looks like he is a blonde Japanese fashion model wearing blue jeans. It's never explained. And the premise of the game, like the plot of the game, is after a number of angels fall and teach mankind how to build the sinister constructions of civilization that corrupt them. God sends Enoch to try and defeat them. Otherwise, he will have to send a flood.
So wait, this plays like an action game.
Yeah.
Technically, according to Steam, it's an action RPG.
Oh, so it's like Nier.
I don't know if I'm trying to think. I don't remember any RPG style mechanics.
I'm just reading the words that someone else tagged.
Fair enough. Yeah. But then again, I Am Bread is listed as having a strong female protagonist, so just don't trust Steam tags.
Are you saying that that's not true?
I don't know enough about bread to say otherwise.
Well, look, if there can be male and female peppers and watermelon, then who says there can't be female bread?
What the hell did you just say to me?
I'm not repeating myself, Mick.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't you remember Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper from Blue's Clues?
Dude,
And their daughter,
I
Paprika.
was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, they had a kid. His name was
Paprika.
Cinnamon. And,
No,
and
it was
yeah.
Paprika. What are
Well,
you
they also had Cinnamon.
Did they have another kid? I signed off when Joe
I
came
aged
on.
out of Blue's Clues.
I lost interest after John left the show.
Oh, they have
Steve was my guy.
Oh my
so,
god,
yeah.
they have 2 more kids, Sage and Ginger. Holy shit.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
those two
they gotta
fucks.
stop fucking.
Oh my fucking god, don't say that.
Middle Earth, Shadow of the Colossus.
You sure you don't want to talk about Salt and Pepper's breeding habits some more?
Look, the only thing that I want to bring to the table is the possibility of Salt and Pepper being the new mascot for the Yearlies for no reason other than I want it.
That'll be the turning point once the 2010s are up and I run out of Jack Frost pictures.
Okay, at least in the thumbnail.
For the musicians instead.
At least in this thumbnail, can like Salt and Pepper encircle Jack Frost?
I mean, I'd be happy to just have Jack
jerking
Frost
them
in
off?
it at that point.
I do just like the idea of creating an asset of an image of Salt and Pepper and then just having like a censored mark on it.
I guess I'll have to do that.
Anyway,
then.
God.
Middle Earth
Talk
Shadow
about
of
the
Mordor.
Rings game.
A Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor is this. I would call this an action RPG. Set in obviously Middle Earth. You play as Talion, a ranger of Gondor. After
Italian?
Mamma mia, I have
Did you
the Nemesis
short-circuit Graham's
system.
brain?
I want to let that stew for a little bit.
That's what you got to do. Let it stew.
Jordan, you ever just make the room quieter?
Every day, Graham.
What
every
a
day.
fucking...
Sorry, go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Talion is brought back from death because he is bonded with a wraith who, despite the fact that all the marketing for the game was just like, yeah, it's Celebrimbor, a large portion of the game is like, who is this wraith that's with me? Which is a bit weird. But anyway, the main defining factor of this game is the Nemesis system. The orcs that you fight each have... It's a randomly created set of orcs. They each have like a different title, personality traits, weaknesses, strengths, which will affect how you fight them, and it leads to these very, very interesting and dynamic encounters. The orc that ended up becoming my nemesis was a orc by the name of Zog the Kinslayer, who...
What an orc name.
I fought him like a dozen times and he kept killing me, and I finally beat him, and he just came back 5 hours later. He's like all fucked up with metal bits. I had to cut off his head, and then he showed up in the sequel.
that orc was like, I will never die. He will never die.
Reason this is not honorable mentions, not Shadow of War, is just because Shadow War had like some, again, like as Mick pointed out, like the weird sexy Shelob, and the fact that for a long time the true ending was basically behind a segment of gameplay that you would kind of trying to force you into playing microtransactions.
Yeah.
Where Shadow of Mordor is a very much more clear-cut experience, but are both, I would say, equally great games.
I'm ready to vote.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless anybody else has anything else to add.
I'll just I just want to throw out this statement, and it should in no way influence either anyone and how they wish to present a game. But just so you know, the best way to pitch a game to Taylor specifically would be to put gameplay first, because if you tell me what a story is, I'm not going to pay attention. All you have to do for the story is tell me it's good. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Okay. All right.
Also, why are you guys posting so many Italian memes?
Because there's a character named Italian.
Bibbidi, you cut off my head, Bobbidi.
Every time he talks about Italian, I keep thinking about Italians.
I keep thinking you're saying Hitalia.
Which is even worse.
No, not that.
I can't imagine something worse than Italy. It's Italia.
And I used to date someone who was half Italian, so okay.
I am Italian. I can say that.
Yes, you are. Don't touch my spaghetti.
So
All
who's
right,
going first? Is it still Christian?
It is.
Christian, go.
El-Shaddai.
El-Shaddai. Mick.
El-Shaddai.
Clanky.
El-Shaddai.
Graham.
Middle Earth.
And Taylor.
Middle Earth is gonna El-Shaddai.
This is the night of Graham and Taylor.
No, I'm voting for El-Shaddai.
Oh. Okay.
Never mind.
Never mind. Y'all
No,
fucking...
Night's been canceled.
You know what? I understand how combining two things would make it difficult to decide what I was voting for. I meant for it to be a fun thing, and it instead became a confusing thing.
It's okay. I was having fun while being confused.
That's
By the way, Graham, I have to say,
Yep.
I want to play Shadow of Mordor at some point. I haven't got around to it, though.
Oh yeah, I want to play it too. El-Shaddai sounds fucking amazing, though.
I want to hear their explanation for why Shelob is sexy now instead of a giant fucking spider.
Because she wants the ring.
That's not an explanation, Graham.
El-Shaddai sounds like
look at
a...
Do you want an explanation or a good
character's
explanation?
Hadouken.
Okay, fair enough. Okay.
All right, we have the next matchup up here. First off, in this one, we have Gato Roboto.
Gato Roboto.
This just in, Taylor listens to Styx. That is a...
I didn't even know
Clanky
what
pick.
band it was.
That is the band Styx. Name any one of their other songs.
I prefer
Come
Stones.
sail away.
Okay, I was saying Taylor, but yes.
Are you a
Styx
Styx fan?
Pepper?
Name
Salt and Pepper is another band.
Ah!
Are you a Styx
Gato
fan?
Roboto.
What if
Is
when
a
someone
Clanky
asks
pick.
me what my favorite song in a band is, I just name another band?
That's good. I like that bit. Gato Roboto is a Clanky pick, and it's going up against Mini Metro, which is my wild card pick. Who wants to go first?
May I start?
Yes, you may. Okay, starting the timer now.
Okay, so I told Jordan that I would play Mini Metro before this Yearlies, and I didn't play Mini Metro. But
Okay.
I don't. To be fair, I know it's a very good game because
It
if
is.
it's anything like if it's anything like Mini Motorways, which I know it is because it's like literally by the same team, then I know it's going to be at least an enjoyable game, and I'll probably
Yes.
enjoy it for the same reasons I like Mini Motorways. But I do want to talk about Gato Roboto for a second in defense.
Mr. Roboto.
So, Gato Roboto is I like calling it a Metroidvania light. I think I brought this up last time, but the reason I say that is because there is backtracking. There is, like, you have to go back to previous areas and, like, certain levels to explore, like, to explore. After you get like equipment and stuff to like, you know, open up new paths and everything, but it really doesn't go that far in that direction. Like the game can be split up into 4 levels essentially, and you do a lot of backtracking and exploration in those levels, but you never really go back to those levels after you're done with it, after you get the MacGuffin or whatever that you need from that area. So that's why I say, you know, light. It's also, you know, a pretty short game, but I feel like the game itself is kind of tailored for you to 100% it, rather than like, you know, just kind of play through it once and then be done. So the idea is that like you play through it and you don't, you know, you save everyone or you don't break a certain thing or whatever, and then you know, the next time you play, you try to do better. It is a short game, I won't deny that, but it's very fun. It's very stylish. There's only 2 colors in the entire game, and one of the collectible unlockables you can get actually changes those 2 colors. So it starts off as like a black and white game, like, you know...
Salt and pepper, if you will.
What?
Nothing.
And pepper.
Yeah, salt and pepper. So it starts off with like, you know, salt and pepper aesthetics, but then like you can find a box that makes it like, you know, green and dark green, like a Game Boy game. You can find ones that make it like blood red and white or something, and like
it's Downwell.
Yes, like actually I don't know. I've never played Downwell, but either way,
I think it's like, I think it's from the same people. Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying.
It's possible. Either way, Gato Roboto is a very fun game, and I enjoy it a lot, despite its short length. And I am of the opinion that Gato Roboto's short length is a blessing more than a hindrance, because of the replay value of the game.
Okay.
It's very fun. I like this.
But just to be clear,
yeah.
I apologize. When you say, so the replay value is playing it with different art styles?
So there are, like, things to find in the game, right? And in order for you to 100% the game and, like, save everyone, I don't want to get into it, but, you know, to save everyone, quote-unquote, you have to, like, find all these MacGuffins. So, like, all the extra collectibles and everything.
And you can't do that on one playthrough?
You can do it in one playthrough if you, like, look up a guide and look where to go and everything, but, the game, its short length, you know, makes it so you can just play through the game once, go, alright, that was fun, now let me go through it and try to get all these collectibles, now let me try to get all these collectibles, you know? So that's, I don't know, that's more or less the replay value of what I need.
I guess for me, I would do that all on one file anyways.
That's fair, yeah, you definitely can. I went to do that, and then I accidentally broke something I wasn't supposed to break, and because of that, I'm sitting at a solid 98%, and I'll probably never play it again. No, that's a lie. But you get what I'm saying. Either way, Mini Metro is also a really good game, and this is a very tough choice, because even though I haven't played Mini Metro, I know once I do, I'll love it. So.
Oh, you will.
Yeah. So this is a tough pick for me.
All right. Is it time for me to actually try a salesmanship on one of these?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
I'm Jordan of Jordan Co. Enterprises.
Yes. Here at Jordan Co., we love Metro because Mini Metro is very fun and very it's another kind of thing which, like, there's not an overarching thing. It's like many motorways in that your job is to build a subway system in a major world city, and you unlock other cities as it goes on, but it gives you major metropolitan cities in the world. Your New Yorks, your Tokyos, but it gives you other ones like Seattle and Vancouver and Melbourne. And your task is to make different subway lines and make train lines that connect all of these and make sure that the different, like, circle, square, triangle icons get to where they need to go on these commutes via these train stations without too much of an overflow at certain stations. And so you need to create different trains that do interchanges, and you have to, you know, keep things going as things expand and as more stations need to open up. And it's about containing the demand for people while supplying it, while also only having a limited amount of time or a limited amount of new stations or new trains to build or new other things. And it's basically about keeping everything in line while also it cycles you through different days. Like, you know, after one day things get replenished and you get maybe another line or another train line to do or another train, or maybe like they have upgrades and things. But it's very cool because basically how many days can you last while keeping everybody happy? And then if it gets to a certain point where a station has too many people that are complaining, hey, why aren't we getting picked up fast enough? Then, you know, game over or whatever. But it's very similar to Mini Motorways in its accessibility, in its very simple design and interface, and just using color coordination for things. But I think it's very odd that I'm the one pitching this because I am an autistic person, and there's a stereotype of autistic people liking trains, and here I am talking about a game about trains, and I'm saying very good things about it because it is a very fun and interactive game that you can play multiple cycles of without getting too frustrated, and it's really just a learning experience kind of thing.
You learn about new stereotypes every day, it seems.
I do, yes, but that's a really good one.
No, I'd never heard that like autistic people like trains.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That was the first autistic person I met.
This kind of feels a bit. This kind of feels like a bit like hearing about the stereotype that supposedly deaf people are really strong. It's like, do people actually say that?
Well, I don't
know.
That
one I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I mean, Lou Ferrigno's deaf, so yeah.
Trains are dope. So
Jordan, let me
amazing. And as an autistic person, I do enjoy riding on trains.
Let me. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I challenge you for a moment?
You can challenge me.
What makes this better than Mini Motorways?
Because trains, I think, give you a bit more accessibility and interchangeability and creativity of design than just creating motorways. I don't know a ton about the interface and the design and what's different about motorways, but I know that there's more things you can do in terms of trains and in terms of
here's what I will tell you. I'm looking at Mini Metroway, and it has pie charts.
Yeah.
So I think the differences between Metro and Motorways is that Metro, everything goes in like a loop, and you have to connect that loop to other stations.
Yes.
Whereas Mini Motorway, you can entirely erase your road and make it go somewhere else if it better, mitigates traffic.
And you can do that with train lines if you want, but it doesn't completely erase a lot of the need for it.
I'm sorry, I heard Taylor. You said pie charts. Please elaborate what you saw.
Really?
I may have said the wrong kind of chart.
Okay, never mind.
Look at the last picture on the Steam page. And
I don't have Steam open because I'm recording this, but...
I opened Steam, but Steam hates me because I have a Mac.
Can someone tell me if there are charts in this game?
There are. He's talking about a line graph.
But that's also great! That's also good!
That's the one. Thank you, Mick. I knew if I brought it up, one of you would get fired up about it.
But pie charts are typically shaped like a pie.
No, it's not the shape. It's the idea of the chart. I'm like, I almost wanted to say bar graph, and I knew that was wrong.
Well, that's the thing. I would say, listen. I'm not. You know what? No, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna bully you too much.
Thanks, Mick.
Yeah. Anyway, Mini Metro is a very fun game because trains. Although I don't know how much it has to go up against actual overarching story games. But I like it a lot, and I wanted to put it on here.
Well, I don't know if Gato Roboto has a huge overarching story, to be fair.
It has a story, and
it has a story.
Yeah,
it's a story, and it's cute. It's like so. The story is that there's like this rough and tough space traveler or whatever, and he's like, I need to get home, but then the stupid cat fucking goes on the controls and makes the ship crash, and then that leaves the main a rough and tough space captain He can't get out of his situation. I forget if he's paralyzed or if he gets crushed under something so he can't move or he gets trapped in a ship. But the cat can. So the cat goes inside the mech suit and goes around and tries to fix the problem that he caused by making his owner happy. It's cute. I really like it.
Well, look, to sum up what I said.
Trains.
To sum up what I said last bracket, you had me at cute.
Aww.
Narratively.
But Mini Metro is cute. There's cute.
No.
Look at how small that Metro is.
Jordan. I mean in terms of pitching the story. Like I said, I don't need a story pitch. I just need to know, is it good? Cute is also an acceptable word.
I do also... I appreciate the story pitch because I was kind of curious about Gato Roboto's, narrative.
Well, it's Gato, and he's a Roboto.
It's a fun title, I gotta say.
Gato means cat in Spanish.
Yeah.
And Roboto means robot, I think.
No, I think it means can of tuna.
I believe Roboto means slave in Bulgarian.
It does, yeah.
Oh my god.
If you trace the word origin, yeah. And are there any more comments, or shall we get to the vote?
I have no comments, but I'm not ready to vote.
Okay. Do you need more information on something?
I was gonna elect that you skipped me. That you skipped me first.
Okay, you can go last. I will just switch the order early. Mick, go.
I am going to vote for Mini Metro.
Yay! Clanky.
No malice to Mini Metro, of course.
I
I'll
know.
probably end up voting for it next round when it wins, but I'm voting for Gato Roboto.
Okay. Graham.
I like cats. Gato Roboto.
Taylor.
Why do I always have to be the one to kill Jordan's wild cards? Why can't someone
Because
else
it's
do it?
funny.
It's listen, I like Metroidvanias. I like this art style. Clanky also bought me the game because he thought it would be funny to buy me the game.
Clanky's better at pitching
Yeah.
than me. I get it.
No, it has nothing.
He's had more
Listen,
practice.
when I look at both things, one just looks better than the other for me.
Did I buy you Gato Roboto?
Did you buy me Gato Roboto? It was like you and Graham got into like this. We're gonna buy Taylor Games war. So you bought me Gato Roboto, and then Graham bought me like the Disney afternoon collection.
Oh.
One of those games is a masterpiece, and the other is Gato Roboto.
Hey, I'm excited to play Gato Roboto. So Christian, just so you know, I think that means Gato Roboto.
I
won.
can see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right, you
that
have
takes
to.
the pressure off of me because I honestly was. I was originally going to vote for Gato Roboto without a question.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
But then the Mini Metro pitch happened, and I realized I also like trains, and I also heard about charts, and I was like, one of the reasons I bought Tomodachi Life was because of charts. Like, that's one of the only fucking reasons I ended up buying that game. It ended up being one of my favorite fucking games.
And see,
Yay,
maybe that's just another
charts.
reason why I'm not into Tomodachi Life, because I'm not a chart guy.
You hate charts, huh?
I'm not a huge chart guy. I
That'll-
will admit that.
This'll go on your permanent record.
Yeah.
I'm voting for Mini Metro because it already lost.
I,
Thank
Taylor Taylorson, am not a chart guy.
Gordon,
Okay.
I want you to know that I'm going to come
Yeah.
to bat for it in the losers bracket.
We'll come back to that
Taylor,
statement in
son of
approximately-
Taylor.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we just like focus on the fact that his full name is Taylor Taylorson?
Yeah,
Just,
I made it that
Well,
in
that's
the
my
previous video.
that's my Yearlies canon name.
Can it be your canon name?
Can you change your name to that?
Cannonson name?
Cannon.
No, listen, I kind of wanted to get into the habit where when we start a Yearlies, we all introduce ourselves by first and Yearlies appropriated last name, but we don't have a Yearlies last name for everyone.
Well, I'm not afraid of using my last name. You know, people can know my last name.
I mean,
I also probably would help because I think based on your name, there's a lot of people I imagine with your name.
well, yeah,
Incidentally, I just looked it up. There actually is a person named Taylor Taylorson.
yeah, it's me.
Is it like that? Ascension and Hot Fuzz?
What's I know him? He's me.
Yeah.
There's also one person in the US, I believe, named Finger.
Is he a kid?
Which one?
Is his name Finger?
No,
his
it's
name
Finger.
Freddy?
It's a kid named Finger.
I happen to know that somewhere in the United States, I can't remember where, there is a how shall I put this? A doctor who is an expert in performing vasectomies by the name of Dr. Richard Chop.
I do not want a vasectomy from Richard Chop.
Anyway,
You don't want a vasectomy from Dr. Dick Chop?
I do
I had a
not.
substitute
What?
teacher in high school, whose name was Mr. Richard Head.
Oh,
Oh
He
god.
looked like a walrus because he'd probably heard it a million times.
I would probably look the same if that was my fate.
He looked
I had
really
my dad
sad.
actually unironically had a dentist named Dr. Hertz.
Oh
was his first name Dick?
no!
No, it wasn't.
Come on now.
One of my uncles is a fisherman. His last name's Carp.
Anyway, the next bracket that we're doing, the two games that will be against each other are Towerfall Ascension, which is a Christian pick, versus walking, which is also a Christian pick. Okay, Christian, quick question: is walking a walking simulator?
You know what? You're gonna find out.
Okay, well,
You're gonna sit down. You're gonna find out.
You want to go first?
2 Ascension games.
Does anyone have literally anything they want to say before I rant for 6 minutes? Like, honestly?
No, go.
No.
Okay.
Try and rant for 7 minutes.
I will say the only thing before I start the timer. I got so excited for this Yearlies and to talk about these games because none of these are honorable mentions for me. These are all games that I forgot. Like, if they were not on, if I had remembered that they existed, they would have been on their respective brackets. Like, they would have been there. So
it's gonna be so tragic when they don't win.
Okay.
Exactly, it's going to be very sad.
Now if it's all right.
It'll be
All
really sad because they're games he actually loves, and they're going to lose to games that we only sort of like.
Yeah, they're going to lose to Mini Metro. Okay, starting the timer. Now, so is it a walking simulator?
No, we're not starting with walking. We're starting with Towerfall because I have less to say about Towerfall.
Towerfall a walking simulator.
Towerfall is not a walking simulator. Towerfall is
a Towerfall simulator.
Well, you fall through a tower, perhaps, and
It's a
it does have the
platformer.
Pac-Man scrolling effect to it. So. It definitely achieves that. Towerfall was created. It's an action indie video game created by Maddie Thorson, who some of you should recognize that name as the person behind Celeste.
Never heard of it.
How dare you?
Now,
How dare you bring Celeste into this?
yes, she made Celeste, but before that, she made Towerfall. And to further try and selectively pander to people.
Oh, dude, they have the exact same Thwomp Celeste block in this game.
Towerfall started off as an Ouya exclusive game.
Yes, it did. Damn right it did.
You
It's-
might
Oh yeah,
as well
that's right.
just
I
put
forgot
it on the
you bought an
Odyssey.
Ouya at launch.
Yeah,
Wait,
before
and
It
also,
wasn't at launch.
wasn't the sequel supposed to come out on Stadia, which is
oh god,
funnier.
Maddie, what are you doing? But
Great games, horrible choice in systems.
yeah, what the fuck is a Pico? Am I right?
To be fair, Towerfall came out on the Ouya, and then Towerfall Ascension came out everywhere else.
Yes. So Towerfall Ascension, I mostly know this game for its multiplayer because one of our friends got the game and just obsessed over it for a while. So we would just play the multiplayer of this game. I never owned this game. I only played it through this person, and the multiplayer is so much fun. It is a game where you basically try to shoot each other with arrows. It's very simple, easy to use mechanic of shooting each other. You have two big ways of killing people is through arrows or by Goomba stomping on top of people. And either way is incredibly satisfying. It also, harkening forward a little bit to Celeste, has a dash maneuver in the game, which allows you to absorb enemy arrows. So you can have a very funny situation where two people are at max arrows charging each other. One person unloads all their arrows on them. They dodge at the perfect time to catch every single arrow, shoot one arrow at the other guy, then dodge into one more arrow, killing the other guy while everyone is screaming so much that the room is vibrating.
I feel like I need a cigarette after that sentence.
And it's it's so much fun. You have arrow upgrades. You have that can place plants on the floor, or you can shoot your. I believe you can shoot your arrows through torches in this game to light your arrows on fire. When you shoot your arrows, you don't lose them forever. You can fucking go just pick them up. They're just still in the map, and you can pick up the arrows as long as they're not lodged in someone's body. It's fantastic. There is a single player. I hear it's mostly target test and enemy wave stuff. I've never played it. Point being, Towerfall is a great game.
Okay.
I have
I
also
can't
played the game.
find. I can't find walking. Are
No
you
one
sure
can
it
find
exists?
walking. I have walking,
Oh.
and I could send you all the EXE, but not all of
I
you
think-
will want to play it.
I think I'd like some
Oh, I
degree
think I
of
know what
being
this is.
to see
Christian,
it.
is it a walking simulator?
Walking is a horror game.
Yeah, okay, I know what he's.
Yeah.
Now I know what he's talking about. Yeah.
Walking has two buttons. You use one button to move forward, and the other button to look behind you. That is it.
Oh shit.
You walk down a hallway. You traverse a seemingly infinite hallway as things happen around you. Now, to give you an idea of the visuals and presentation of this game has sort of like PS1 style visuals, but it looks like a fucking... It does not look like a regular PS1. It looks like a beta or an alpha for a PS1 game. Like, it is heinously uncanny. And the music that starts up, immediately the music starts up and it's reversed. So, you know, you're already in a good vibe right here. You have atonal, incomprehensible music that's reversed.
How would you know it's reversed if it's the first thing you hear?
It sounds reversed.
You can tell when something's reversed by just listening to it, honestly.
Yep.
Exactly, it has that feel to it.
Oh wait, is it with they have lyrics?
No, but you can tell.
But even then, you can still like kind of hear like, you know, if you listen. I know what a violin being played backwards sounds like.
Oh, cool.
So,
I'm sorry. Can we just quote that? I know it doesn't sound like a big quote, but it is to me.
So while you quote that, every time you boot up, every time at least I have booted up walking, something new has happened to me. Like, literally, I played the game last night to prepare for this, and something new happened. And I was like, what the fuck? So there are two types. There are common effects and weird effects. Some of the common things that can happen while playing walking are the hallways graphics changing to pictures of uninterpretable objects. Trust me, I have no fucking idea. I've never been... Like, the most interpretable one is an eyeball, and that's about it.
My favorite.
At times, a plain white humanoid figure will appear either behind or in front of you and will not disappear unless you stop looking at it. At times, a plain white face will appear either behind or in front of you. At times, a single piece, like a jigsaw puzzle, a single piece of a full-screen video of an eye with a massive pupil shifting all over the place will appear on screen. And these jigsaw pieces will continually stack on top of each other and will stay there for the entire game. Sometimes you get black dots and black lines that make the image of a person, but you get them in jigsaw pieces, so you piece them together as the game progresses. Sometimes the music stops for no reason. Sometimes the music stops, the entire perimeter of the walls change to a flesh texture, and the sound of a phone ringing is heard for half a minute. And throughout the entire game, the contrast, brightness, and any other number of strange visual oddities will just affect the game as you continue, to the point where by the end of it, it will not be recognizable as how it started.
Do not like...
Sometimes...
Christian, can I ask you one question?
Okay.
Why?
Is it this?
No, it's not this. This is not the game. I can send a video if you guys want.
Okay, because I'm having trouble finding it.
Yeah. Look up Kanoguti walking. Kanoguti.
It's the Polybius of its time, I think.
Kanoguti spelt like
if
this.
If you played it, it haunts your nightmares.
Was this I've seen this game right before, Christian?
You've probably seen this, because I'll get into why you've probably seen it.
Just to be clear, the first thing that came up was an Italy walking tour.
You look this up on YouTube, and you should get a video of the game.
Got it. Taylor, don't look it up.
Yeah. No, I would highly recommend people who are squeamish or don't like horror games do not look this up. I already went past the 8-minute timer, so I have to hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, we're basically done, but I'm giving you extra
I am not done.
We can go over tonight.
Sometimes the game ends, sometimes the game doesn't end.
What? What do you mean it doesn't end?
Sometimes
he's still playing it right now.
Sometimes the game will start with a random jump scare image, usually a humanoid figure covered head to toe in holes. Sometimes, when the game is closed, it will not only swarm the game window, but your entire desktop, all of your monitors, with faces that flash on screen while an incredibly abrasive tune blares through your speakers as the game ends.
This is like that one Sonic fan game.
And
with
sometimes,
copyright protection or whatever.
It's like if Sonic.exe was a little bit more actually scary.
No. Kyle, you're gonna have to remind me. Wasn't there that like one...
I'm trying. I'm gonna do a quick search.
There's this like one Sonic fan game that was like basically spyware to prevent you from like copying it or some shit.
and
like it did shit like that.
Yeah. I got it. I remember what it was. If you care about going on a small detour, I could talk a little bit about it.
Let's talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later
Yeah,
just for time constraints.
For the record, it was Sonic Gather Battle.
I see. So I will say this is my favorite horror game, and I think part of the reason why I like it is because of how unique it is and how much it legitimately scares me. Because something new happens every single fucking time I boot up this game, which is not even a joke. I got a new ending last night, a new ending where the walls were replaced with drawings of little boys and girls with their eyes crossed out, and it was really fucking scary. This game is so scary, and one of my favorite things to do. Is me and a friend, we like to do this thing called Kanoguti pill people, where we will find people who like horror games, and we will be like, well, have you seen this horror game? And then we sit them down and we watch them play through this horror game while they have confused, bewildered expressions the entire time. And it's just one of the most... It's so weird. And I love it for that. And none of you are going to vote for it. And that's fine, because I got to talk about it. And yeah, there we go. That's walking. So are we ready to vote?
I think so.
I was ready a while ago.
Let's vote.
We were all ready the second he said it was a horror game. So anyway, who's going first?
Well, Mick, you start because... I mean, you were next in the line anyway, so we're just...
Okay, cool.
I'm just going to shift like one earlier, I think, now. But,
I'm voting for walking out of solidarity for Christian.
No, don't do it because you feel bad.
No, I'm not actually. I don't know. There's something you said about this. I'm never going to play it. I'm not going to play it. But something about it just sounds like this isn't a real game. This is something that, like... It feels like a fever dream you had rather than an actual thing that exists.
It's Polybius.
It's so cool. I can't express any... It's a necessary play for any horror fan, honestly.
Jesus. Okay. Clanky.
Shit.
You gonna do the same thing?
Listen, Towerfall Ascension is the better game, and I'm not going to deny that. But as someone who truly, honestly, wholeheartedly believes that games can and should be respected as art, I feel like it's impossible to not think about games like Walking in that conversation. So, I'm voting for Walking.
Oh, no.
Y'all are the best.
It's not going to get much farther than this, Christian, but, you know.
Yeah, but I'm happy it won one round.
I promise you this is not based upon what other people said. This is always what I was going to do. I find Walking fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh,
holy shit!
Sweep.
Holy fuck! Taylor's not voting for Walking. Taylor's not voting for Walking.
Taylor, vote for Walking. It'll be fun.
Taylor.
Walking sweep.
Taylor.
I'm here.
It's
How are
your
you?
vote, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm not voting for Walking. Sorry.
But it'll be funny.
I don't expect you to.
No, I mean...
But do it for
To
the
be
footage.
honest, I'm already scared. I'm already scared how well Walking might do now that I see that it's beaten this. The people that are expressing passion, that passion is scary to me.
Can I just say?
It's not going to make it much further.
We'll see.
Well. Okay.
I mean, the amount of times we've said that. Anyways, I vote for the one that was made by Celeste.
Yeah, Towerfall.
By John.
And
John Celeste.
I've kept it no surprise which game between these two I prefer. Walking used to be in my top 50 favorite games. And put that as a ding. Yeah, put that as a ding on your little ding counter. It used to be in my top 50 favorite games of all time. And it's still my favorite horror game. And Walking is great, and I love everything about it, so I'm voting for Walking. And I'm so happy that Walking actually won a round!
Walking.
That's fucking insane!
Can I just say, Christian, the thing that sold it for me was the fact that you said, like, you'll close out of the game, and then it'll just swarm your desktop and every monitor you have. And I'm like...
It will! It will!
I'm like...
I hate that so
what?
much.
That sounds... What?
You can look it up. You can look up Kanoguti end state. Something like Kanoguti walking end state. So So cool.
Hate. Okay.
Oh no, it sounds atrocious, and I would hate that. But like,
Do not like. Okay. Next, we have Anno 1800, which is a Mick pick, versus Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, which is a Taylor pick.
Here we go.
Who's going first?
Here we go.
Starting now.
Okay. The only regret I have is that I kind of already said most of this during the honorable mentions in 2017 before we founded this idea, but that's okay because I'll say it all again. When I first saw, first of all, I don't hate the Rabbids. I've never hated the Rabbids. Rabbids are not minions, and I actually have found them humorous in some situations. Yes, they killed Rayman, but their games inherently are capable of being fun. That's neither here nor there. That's just
Bwah.
addressing the immediate Rabbids stereotype that I understand already comes with this territory. The game itself, the Rabbids are actually kind of humorous. They made them less loud and more observational humor. Rabbid Princess Peach in this game is a selfie-taking Rabbid who may or may not do things on the level of chaotic neutral. The gameplay itself of Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle is essentially XCOM, I guess. I haven't played it. But the game itself is, first of all, this is the first game like this I played. Yeah, I played strategy games, but I never played an XCOM-like game. And now that I have played Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I am immensely curious how XCOM is going to be. Because every single element of this game just works. First of all, there are 8 characters to pick, and even if you only stick with the same 3, everyone levels up at the same time, so there's no pressure to pick any combination of units, except you need to have 1 rabbit and 1 regular character. Not a big deal.
I wish they could make it so I never had to use the rabbits.
It's fine, well, because your rabbit is Rabbid Peach is your healer, so you're just going to use her, honestly. Luigi is so fucking powerful in this game, it's ridiculous. The tactics itself, it feels really good when you can line up a shot. The way a lot of this game is about creating like individualized combos in between a round, because there are so many different ways to deal damage. You can slide into an enemy and then bounce, have a unit toss you to bounce off of them before shooting. I think you can do all that in one go. You have sub weapons that can mess with the environment in ways that can do area of effect attacks and more attacks. It all feels really good. What really seals the deal for me are a couple of things. First of all, the music. Go look up Mid Boss Mayhem. Probably already plugged it back in 2017. In fact, Jordan, if you don't play Mid Boss Mayhem while I'm plugging this game, then you can't edit these videos anymore.
Oh no, I'll put it in because you specifically said it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And the other thing worth noting is there's this really fun to explore overworld between battles. So like, there are times when one gameplay feature is the only part of a game and it's fun, but it creates it creates issues with pacing. But the way this overworld works is it's this long overarching pathway that takes a while, and you get to go through various tubes and collect various coins and cards, and it reminds me a lot of, and maybe this is it reminds me a lot of like exploring an overworld in a collectathon almost, in a very small modified way, and it all packages itself together in a meaningful way. The boss fights are all really good. The music that plays during them is all good. The DLC with Donkey Kong, fantastic.
Cool.
You wouldn't download an ape.
What else do I gotta say about this game? Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Peach are there, and they all get their own rabid form. And alright, Beck, you know what?
I'm joking. I actually don't have anything against the rabbit.
It's sprayed to the Mushroom Kingdom.
And
it's almost like getting excited that Shrek has a minion form.
And also Shrek has a minion form.
Banana.
Minions are like bananas.
I hate you so much.
All right, look. Jokes aside, I think the scaling, just the experience of this from beginning to end. I don't think it ever falters. It doesn't have any bad parts. I suppose the final boss is a little hard for me, but you'll be fine. Honestly, it just feels really good to play throughout. There's so much content. There's a good level of challenge. It's very accessible because if you're doing poorly, you can turn on easy mode. And it's made me so excited for when Sparks of Hope comes out next month.
Okay. Other game now.
Anno, Japanese for butt.
But
Like, how can I vote for butt?
So clearly that one wins.
yeah, I know it was Spanish for butt, but with one more N in there.
Yeah. Anno, which is Latin for the year.
Oh yeah, I figured.
Anno
Wait, so this game is just called The Year 1800?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
great
yes.
title, right?
Yeah. The Anno series is one of my favorite game series, and I have not really actually had a chance to talk about it yet during the Yearlies. And that's kind of because in the 2010s, this franchise was in a little bit of a lull, sort of. The game started out in the game series was released in late 90s, like 98. It was a game where you played as you created like a colony in the New World. The first game was called Anno 1602. And the next game that they had was Anno 1503, then Anno 1701, then Anno 1404. Then something weird happened, and they decided, hey, let's make the game like sci-fi. And so they made Anno 2070, which was fine. It was like it didn't exactly like the atmosphere was a lot different, but it was fun. It still kept. Then they made Anno 2205, and they made so many terrible decisions in it, bizarrely terrible decisions. It was a dark period. Anyway, Anno 1800 came out in 2019, and it was a beautiful return to form of the franchise. The game itself is a city builder.
Okay.
However, unlike city builders such as City Skylines or SimCity, the concerns of the game are a lot different because it takes place primarily in, the past prior to the existence of electricity and utilities and stuff.
Right.
And zoning and stuff. The game is primarily based around trade networks and production chains. So, like, case in point, at the beginning of the game, in order to construct buildings, you need wood.
Hey,
so in order to do that, you need to build a lumberjack hut. And the lumberjack will cut wood for you. And the first peasants you bring, they're going to need to eat fish. Okay? And so you set up a fisherman's hut, and, it's very clear. Fisherman fishes, delivers fish. Okay? But as you get further and further in the game, the production chains get increasingly large. Like, rather than simply a lumberjack produces wood and brings that wood to the warehouse, the fisherman produces fish, brings that to the warehouse. Like, the next chain, you're going to need clothing. In order to make clothing, you're going to need to have a hemp farmer grow hemp, and then bring that to a weaver. The weaver then makes clothes and brings that. And then they start and they continuously build on each other and build on each other.
The circle of life.
Before at the end of the game, you're managing production chains where there's like, there'll be like 7 different buildings all working at different, rates of production, and you have to manage them all. And also the game is split up into different islands, and you have to set up trade routes between those islands to ensure that all the needs of your population are being met. Because as your city grows, as your cities grow, the people who live there will have more advanced and complicated needs that require a larger and more extravagant production chain. Anno 1800 is, as I said, the most recent one, and it takes place in the year 1800. And so it's more sort of like the Industrial Revolution as a whole, sort of stretching the entire 19th century. and even going a little bit sci-fi. Like there's a I think it actually just came out recently, or is just about to come out. Is a sort of the airship expansion.
Oh God.
It applies to a very specific kind of person. It applies to the kind of person that likes looking at numbers and comparing numbers and being like, oh, this building is generating hemp at 50%. This is its input. This is its output. This building has also this input. It needs to take this, and so how many of like these buildings do I need compared to these buildings in order to have, the right amount of output in order to make sure all the needs are being met. And then on top of that, random events happen. Just like any good city builder, you'll have fires and stuff that, ruin your beautiful production.
Not my production.
You can start a production. The read was the same.
You know what it was? Is that we hadn't had a You Can Start a Family yet, so that was the first one.
Well, you gotta modify it somehow, yeah.
Molyneux it, if you will.
Yeah, if you can do it, Molyneux it. Are we... Is there anything else that needs to be resolved about these two? Because we're a little over...
No.
No?
No.
No. Okay. And now we're going to a vote. Mick.
I'm voting for Anno 1800.
Yeah, I figured. Clanky.
I'm gonna give it to Mario and Rabbids.
Okay. Grim.
Yes. To a no.
Okay, Jeff Goldblum. Taylor.
Mario and Rabbids.
And it's down to Christian.
I really didn't want it to come to this, but it's Anno 1800.
What, I'm not going to be mean. Can I just ask why?
Mick's last comments about how this is a great game for if you like to watch numbers go up on a building, and I can check, ooh, this building is making this much production, and like this is making this much production, and I hate the rabbits.
I understand what you said based off your enthusiasm about the charts earlier.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm still not happy about it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be happy if my game lost either.
Let's see if my third game loses.
Well, okay, yeah, let's go on to the next one, which is Faster Than Light, which is a Clanky pick, versus Golf Story, which is a Taylor pick, which is not a sequel to Cave Story.
But how
Or
interesting
so
would
you
that be?
I don't think.
Yeah, Jordan, I'm
Can I
gonna blow.
actually-
Jordan, allow me to blow your mind.
When the bottom time there was a golf.
Can I actually start for FTL?
But for if
And-
you'd like.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, go for
all right,
it.
I'm gonna start.
Okay.
I'm gonna start the timer. Go.
FTL is a game I have 28.8 hours in. I haven't beaten it, and I love it to death.
Yes, so true. Go off. It's so
Um,
good.
It's technically a roguelike, except they kind of forgot that most roguelites, you usually, what you do in the run will improve what you do on the next run. But with FTL, it's kind of like, maybe you'll unlock a new starship or something. That's fine, because the game is honestly so good, that's not even a flaw, that's a feature. You start off, you are a crew trying to get from one side of the galaxy to the other, because you have very important information, while you're trying to avoid being hunted down by the rebels. You choose which route you want to take. You might say like, oh, this next point you're going to take will take you to an asteroid field, but you might have an opportunity to trade, or this one seems fine, but it might be more of like a sketchier part of the galaxy. You can add to your starting crew members. You can name all of them, name them after your friends. It's funny.
I forgot about that.
You can you can get boarded, and if you get boarded, you can vent the atmosphere in your ship, except for where your crew is, to snuff out the boarders.
Or where your crew is. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
You
can.
Yeah.
So, There's like it's almost like a two. Do you mind if I tag in real quick, Graham?
Yeah, tag it.
So there's like two kind of gameplay mechanics with this game, where one of them is you using your ship to explore the stars and like saying, oh, this area looks like it might be a good area to go to because it'll get me closer to the shop, or I can go this way, which will get me closer to the next point to get me to the next screen, the next level, so to speak. Well, also you have to go inside your ship and manage your crew members from inside. Like you have to put one of them on guns so you can shoot other enemy ships. You want to put one of them on shields so that way you don't get hit. You want to obviously have one as the pilot because you won't be able to move unless one of them's the pilot, and things like that. So yeah, like Graham said, sometimes people from other ships can board your ship, and then you have to manage your mates from inside the ship to like either try to kill them in like hand-to-hand combat, or by opening up the vents, like Graham said, and suffocating them. But it's very hard. It's not an easy game. I have less hours than Graham, admittedly. I have like 10 or so. I might have a little more. But either way, I've never beaten it either, because it's a game that really demands a lot from you, mental-wise. Your brain has to be at full capacity in order for you to, like, successfully play this game.
It also is, like, a lot luck-based.
It is luck-based, too. I feel like that goes without saying for any roguelike, but it should be said for this game, too. Sometimes you can just get fucked, and you just have to say thank you and then play again.
Thanks for that.
If I can speak on behalf of, like, why I haven't played this game, it kind of, like, everything you guys said about it is kind of like why it doesn't sound all that interesting. And no, I'm not playing the space card.
I thought you were going to. It's such a good card.
Like, yeah, you said it's a roguelike where losing a run doesn't make all that much of a difference. So immediately, that's a thing that I feel like I like when there's value in losing.
I will say that, like, you still can use things that you find in your runs or whatever, like the money that you get to then buy other ships.
I mean, maybe I don't know enough about it to know how useful it would be, but ultimately, I think. You guys pointed it out, like the difficulty of FTL has always seemed so ridiculous to me, to the point that I don't even think I could have fun with it. I have seen what the final boss of FTL is, and honest to God, go fuck yourself. Like oh my God, that looks like the worst time ever, specifically that, and I already have a big problem when a final boss is bad. I think also the space card. No. I think I would. I think I'm a little more interested. I believe the guy who made FTL made something called Into the Breach.
He did.
That seems a little bit more up my alley, personally. I think FTL is a very exclusive game, and like I like roguelikes, so that's not really the fault here. It just looks like a roguelike I wouldn't have too much fun with. Okay. And I'm not bringing this down just to sell my own game. I just genuinely have always had these feelings about FTL.
Well, speaking of, you should probably start selling your own game.
In the beginning of Golf Story, the first thing you do is divorce your wife.
Just
brought
like
to you by our sponsor, Divorce Papers.
You have a dream of becoming a professional golfer, and everybody hates you. Everyone you talk to is mean. Even your coach doesn't like you. But you keep at it. And even as you have to pay your wife alimony, you are determined to be the best golfer in the world. This game is essentially if a new Super Mario Brothers game was a golf game, because there are 8 colorful themed worlds where you have tournaments and various different gameplay mechanics. And despite being just a golf game, it's the best golf game I have ever played. Wow. The mechanics feel incredible. The ball feel is great. I know what I said, Jordan. There's a great system where you can line up your shot in such a way that, like, it's difficult to explain, but basically the game is so good at projecting where your ball is going to land that I feel like I am able to take more risks and play smarter. It feels very good. On top of that, the gameplay itself mixes it up constantly. Like 1 minute you're playing a golfing game, then you're helping you're helping a groundskeeper take out an army of zombie gophers.
As you do.
For the neighboring vampires. At one point, the game becomes a murder mystery, and you're stuck in a mansion trying to figure out who done it. In another sequence, you find 2 scientists who are determined that mini golf is the way of the future, and you're going to play mini golf. You'll also play frisbee golf. You'll also find golf, which is GALF, and it's just if you played golf on the NES, and it's terrible, and it comes with 3 different manuals. The experience of playing Golf Story feels like the most complete golf game you can ever play. It's not the type of game where you set up, you gear into a match, which you can absolutely do, but you are actually having a golf experience. You are living in a world of golf. You go to old folks' homes. You go to dinosaur worlds. You have this rival who is incredibly aggressive for no good reason, and I was so blown away by how good all of the individual mechanics felt, how much the game flowed, changed it up, made me feel good, made me enjoy a golf game. It's one of the most shockingly amazing games I've ever played, and if you like golf games at all, I have a high feeling this could become your favorite golf game. The music is also great. One time I played it with Graham, and he said that Jesus dies at the end of the Bible. And then Mick is like, Graham, Jesus doesn't die at the end of the Bible. That's kind of the point.
I said he died. I didn't say
At the end of the Bible.
Yeah, well, no. My whole thing was that, no. It's not at the end that he dies. He dies, it depends on how you define the end.
Listen, if you like space, you play FTL. If you like golf, you play Golf Story.
If you don't like golf, you also play Golf Story.
That's true. You can have fun doing the other things. There's a lot of content. You can dig for fossils.
Are we ready to vote?
I am ready.
Does anyone have any questions about Golf Story?
No? I think we know all we need to.
All right. Getting into the vote, we start with Mick.
All right. I am going to vote for Golf Story.
Yes.
I'm going to be the tiebreaker again, aren't I?
Clanky is next, I think. Yes, he is.
FTL faster than Wyatt.
Graham.
Speak on Taylor's you get divorced at the beginning of Golf Story. In FTL, you could name someone after your ex-wife and then vent them.
So true. Oh man,
I'm voting for FTL.
All right. Taylor, I think I know who you're voting
For the love of Golf Story.
Completely divorced from that joke that Graham said earlier. I'm going to have to say I think I'm going to like FTL a little bit more.
All the fun games are getting massacred.
I'm sorry, the games it's tough competition.
Can I ever
Christian's
win you
job
on
this one is to
anything,
just
Christian?
kill all the
Do
fun.
you just not like my voice? Is that
No,
it?
I fucking...
Do you want me to talk more soothing?
I'd rather not.
Taylor, what do you mean by more soothing?
I will say, it is fun listening to you, Taylor.
You know, Kyle, I appreciate that. Kyle is always the guy who comes to me after I lose dramatically and be like, you know what? If I could vote, I would have supported you.
Yeah, it's not that your pitches are
I didn't say
bad.
that.
It's that these other... Oh, it's...
That's okay, Kyle. You know what? I'm going to just serve the narrative that you were being nice.
Yeah, okay.
All right. We move on.
So none of my picks made it past the first round. Wonderful.
Look,
It's
these
okay.
are the games you only kind of like, remember?
I mean, I guess it's the best bracket for it to happen.
Love all 3 of my games. I hated that none of them got onto the bracket. Genuinely.
And actually, I love Anno 1800. I didn't count it because I knew a city builder had no chance.
And if you guys want to know the honest truth, of everything on this bracket, other than my picks, like El-Shaddai is cool,
Thanks,
Gato
Taylor.
Roboto looks cool.
No love for Towerfall? It's literally made by the Celeste creator.
It's very multiplayer based, and I'm not a big multiplayer guy.
Alright, I guess so.
Yeah.
We liked it better
And
than
to be fair, I have passing interest in both of these next 2.
Walking.
But Jesus, man, not even Golf Story.
Taylor, Yeah, sometimes you fuck the bracket, sometimes the bracket fucks you. That's really how it works.
Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the
The
bug.
bug.
Yeah.
Bug
Moving
life.
on to the last
But who's the wiper?
Graham. We're moving on to the matchup we have here, and it's Touhou Rhythm Carnival.
Touhou.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Don't say that to him like he's an idiot.
Rhythm Carnival. Which,
Okay, now you have to say it like that every time.
Touhou.
I've already done whatever the Fadul, so I can do that. Rhythm Carnival, which is a Christian pick, versus Titanfall 2, which is a Graham pick. Who wants to go first?
Can I go?
Yes, you can go first with your.
It's pronounced Touhou.
Oh, sorry.
No. To whom?
To whom does this game belong
I'm starting
to?
the timer now.
This is Rhythm Heaven with Touhou characters. And I am literally, I know the only people I'm selling this to right now are Taylor and Clanky. Like, that is it. I know Mick and Graham, your game is on here, and Mick, you have no interest in this. Like, but this is Rhythm Heaven with Touhou characters. And while
Quick question, where can I play this game?
you can find it online by looking up Touhou Rhythm Carnival, and you can download it off of one of the, I don't remember the site I got it from. But I downloaded it recently, so I know it's available. And while you may expect this game to be like a rhythm game based off like, oh, bullet hell gameplay, there's only one game in this collection of rhythm games that actually has anything to do with bullet hell whatsoever. Because this game is based off of the 6th Touhou game, Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. And it takes all of the characters from the 6th Touhou game and makes them do menial tasks. And it's like exactly as you would imagine a Rhythm Heaven game would be like. For example, you have a game where you catch apples while avoiding fuzzballs. You have a game where you pour tea for fairies. You have a game where you fill bookshelves with books. And if you're like, oh, I want a little more edge to my rhythm game. Well, there's a little more edge in the games where it's like where you're trying to dodge knives while you're sleeping, or doing maid work by spawning knives out of midair to kill fuzzballs that are walking through a hallway. And it's like, but my favorite scenario in this entire game is where you're playing as someone who just wants to read a book outside. And there's this one girl with a camera who's trying to take a picture of you, but you can't let that happen. You can't let your natural reading state be on camera for the paparazzi. So every time you press the rhythm button that you hit on time, you strike a silly pose and ruin their picture. And it's incredible. This game's presentation is amazing. It's chibi character designs with Henry Stickmin eyes, and it's honestly, you would imagine like obviously like a Touhou game would have like a strange art style, but no, the art
very 2002.
It's a very cute looking game, and like it perfectly fits like the exact vibe that it's trying to go for. However, in honesty, there are 3 things in this game. I do not like Touhou Rhythm Carnival more than any individual Rhythm Heaven game. However, okay, maybe more than Tengoku, but there are 3, but it's true. This game is better than Tengoku.
Does it feel as good as a Rhythm Heaven game? Genuinely?
Yes, it genuinely feels as good as a Rhythm Heaven game when you get the rhythm.
I'll be honest, the art style looks less crisp, and I'm wondering if that would interpret how I would feel the gameplay.
The feeling is wonderful. In fact, sometimes I would say, in some cases, I actually feel like it's better than Rhythm Heaven. But there are 3 things, in my opinion, here that actually go over, that are things that I want included in another Rhythm Heaven game. 1, you can get perfects whenever you want. And that is a wonderful thing. There's a star in each level that disappears when you mess up a note, but it's there every time you play, so you have infinite attempts. You don't have to wait for perfects to appear. It's great. Another big thing. You can switch minigames between normal and hard mode, and normal and hard minigames have different music tracks.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
So it's this insane. You can either play through a casual like normal run where or you can do these incredibly difficult this is the type of rhythm game that you play when Rhythm Heaven is too easy, because the hard games are so fucking hard. I have not perfected a single game in this entire package yet. This game is not easy. It does a lot with backbeats, mandatory visuals. There are some games.
Had me for so long, and then you said backbeats.
But it's the truth. I cannot sell you Stray. And even just it switches the gameplay for certain games. I'm sorry, I'm going a little over 4 minutes. I have one last thing to say. The music for this game. It's all songs from Touhou 6, already a platinum tier soundtrack, now completely remade with brass instruments for an incredible, almost jazzy sounding track list.
Christian, I need to ask a question.
Yes.
Are they actual brass instruments, or is it like synthesized?
It might be synthesized. Clanky would be able to tell better than me, but like I don't think they got an actual brass band together to record this game. To be honest with you, I don't think they did that.
Okay, fair enough.
Is it just brass? Can you send me a link or something?
I'll send when Touhou gets killed. I'll send a link to the one and only remix in this game, and I want you all to watch it because it's really really good. And yeah, it's one of the best soundtracks for any game ever made. In my top 10 video game soundtracks, it's better than any rhythm heaven game. Period. And
interesting.
That's all I have to say about that. Graham, your turn.
Hey, Graham, before you go, can I tell you how you could get my vote?
Yeah.
Tell me about the Titanfall 2 campaign, like the single player part.
Oh, don't worry, that's the best part.
I will. But first, I do have a funny bit I have to do.
Oh, a funny bit?
Funny. Let me do my funny bit.
Please do your funny bit.
If I had a nickel for every time a great FPS called TF2 got abandoned by its developer, I'd have 2 nickels. Which is not a lot of gear that's anymore. But yeah, Titanfall 2 is the shocker sequel to Titanfall. It is a first-person shooter with the main gimmick being that you have a Titan which you can call down, which falls
like the moon.
The campaign you play as Matt Mercer.
Sorry. I heard Matt Mercer, so I didn't miss anything.
With it, a rookie pilot teaming up
every other second.
Let the man talk.
A rookie pilot teaming up with BT-7274, who was gifted to him by his late mentor. The campaign is honestly probably one of the best first-person platformers I've ever played.
Play Neon White, but go on.
You come up against like a colorful cast of characters in the Apex Mercenary Corps. One of the best missions in the game, which I showed you, has you traveling between the past and the future. Like literally just jumping through. In order to traverse the environment, you have to go from the past to the future, and it's like really, really cool, interesting, and fun. Like you'll kill an enemy in the past, you go back to the future, and you'll see like, oh yeah, there's a skeleton there. Because time has passed.
Yeah.
What other
multiplayer is great.
Graham, you're really
and the multiplayer
struggling
is
to
great.
sell this game. Like it's really good, and I'm with you, Graham. But like
there isn't really anything I could really say beyond just like, yes, this is good.
Do you want to tag in?
The weapons are
sure.
fun.
Yeah, so there's a bit I would like to tag in.
Tag in.
The character dynamic between the two main characters. They have basically written a buddy cop movie, except one of the cops is a giant robot, and one of the cops will get inside the other cop.
Phrasing!
I'm losing myself in the metaphor.
It's Ratatouille.
What the?
Yeah. And it led to one of my favorite like memes going around is where it's just BT going like, and now draw her, protecting the pilot.
So
that it?
I hear that there is an incredibly diverse gameplay campaign full of you're not doing the same thing once.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't gone through the full thing, but if someone who isn't voting in the thing, can chip in a few things.
I want him to, but I feel like it's not fair to the rest of them.
Let it go.
Like normally I wouldn't, but this is almost like like trying to down play Titanfall 2 at this point.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit? Titanfall 2 is a movement shooter FPS that really tries to crank up what you can do with the game. Since Taylor wants to focus more on the single player, well, I'll focus a little bit more on that description rather than the multiplayer. But the multiplayer, from everything that I've heard, especially in the heyday, since I didn't play it during then, was probably the best type of, well, general shooter probably, but like at least movement shooter that you could get on the market. But the actual campaign that you'd play through was this slightly fun, cheesy type of thing, but completely all throughout it's this like fun character-driven narrative of I forget the name of the main character, but you with BT
John
running
Titan.
around doing all the things that you need to do, and
Just tell me this. Do I have to play the first one?
No, not at all.
No.
All right.
The first one doesn't have a story, if I remember.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't really have a single-player campaign. I think, if I remember. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Also,
That's more multiplayer. But like the actual campaign of the single-player campaign of Titanfall 2 is fun. It goes through very imaginative levels where you're playing through and really making use of all of your movement abilities to go through these like wide open spaces or these huge arenas where you're basically dancing around all the enemies that they throw at you, and you have these moments where you flip the thing on its head, and now you're in your giant BT mech, and now you're the big guy completely destroying everything in your path until it hits you with a Titan on their end, and now it becomes like this slightly slower but still incredibly fluid shooter where it becomes a tug of war fighting between the two of you. It's really fun.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm not sure where I'm voting yet. So
also,
let
I
me.
should say. I should also say.
You know, I'm a little overloaded on Titanfall 2 information at the
Oh
moment.
no, this was just something I wanted to share to not necessarily you or Christian, just the other two.
the record.
And, you know, everyone who's already has the game. The game recently got an injection because there.
Congratulations.
Steroids.
There is
from Dick Chop.
There's a there's a mod released for it called North Star, that allows you to run your own custom servers in the game.
Oh, so because as we briefly started talking, it was a game that was basically abandoned by its developers. Everything that was good in Titanfall 2 basically went into Apex Legends. Blah blah blah. It's super hard to find a match without that kind of thing. So I guess if you really want to play the multiplayer, it's now possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
we've kind of-
basically it's really revived the community.
I know we've kind of run the time, but if I could just say
Yeah,
a
that's
few
the thing.
things
I
left.
let you guys go on that.
Yeah, just one last thing. A question you might have: do I need to play other Touhou games to enjoy Touhou Rhythm Carnival? No, you do not. Touhou Rhythm Carnival was my first proper exposure to the Touhou franchise, and turned me into a Touhou fan at the same time, despite knowing, like, it is a very non-referential game. Like, it references the game that it's based off of, but it's like, you can still enjoy everything about it in a vacuum. And then you play Touhou 6 and you're like, oh, this is all the stuff from Rhythm Carnival. Whoa! Taylor, I know you'll like the music, because when I sent you that music quiz a long time ago, I put a Touhou song in there, and your response was, I don't know this song, but send me the link because it's really good. So I know you'll like the soundtrack.
Was it from this one?
It was actually, no, this version, Touhou Rhythm Carnival, has the brass jazzy version of the song that you liked.
Question, Christian, did you ever send him the link?
And I don't know if I did, actually.
Also, Christian, is Touhou just another word for a fetish?
I don't know, it could be. It fucking could be.
Shall we vote?
Yeah. Am I still
Okay.
first?
Yeah, so we can even it up next round, yeah.
Okay. I'm voting for Titanfall 2.
Okay. Clanky.
It was pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie, but I think ultimately I'm giving it to Touhou.
Okay. Graham.
Titanfall 2.
Taylor.
Christian.
Touhou.
Christian. Taylor.
I don't know why I went to Christian. I knew where he was gonna
Yes.
What's gonna do?
Ooh, I wonder if he chooses Titanfall 2.
All
Homer Simpson impression?
right. The negatives of each of these things is for Titanfall, there's multiplayer.
Wait,
And
hang on.
for
I-
Okay, the existence of multiplayer shouldn't detract from the single
Nope.
player.
let me have my statements.
Yes.
I mean, and Touhou has backbeats.
Okay, you don't have to deal with the backbeats if you play on normal.
Okay,
Ah,
Christian, that argument doesn't work because you don't even
No, it
have to
worked.
play multiplayer.
it worked, Touhou.
Yes!
Wow.
I think you're fucking crazy for this reasoning, I'll be
That's
honest
not
with you.
my actual. Guys, listen, we're doing a thing, and I'm trying to do bits and fucking.
Oh, okay,
Titanfall
sorry, I
2
didn't realize you were doing a bit. Sorry, okay.
Titanfall 2 looks fun. I think anything Rhythm Heaven like is a little more interesting. to
Okay,
me.
fair enough, fair enough. As long
Look.
as that wasn't your actual reason.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna start an MMO tomorrow, Mick.
Okay, sounds good.
Good for you?
Christian dad cameo.
My dad's making a cameo in the Yearlies. Look at that.
Christian's dad.
When are
Christian's
we
dad
gonna-
is Christian's dad is King Frost.
When are we gonna rank our dads?
When are we gonna rank our
The Dadlies.
Oh
my
fuck.
Deadliest pet.
Can we
I'll
just
be
drop
honest.
this and start that now?
Guys, we just call that one the daddies.
The Daddies. Well, we
I
can
like
take.
the Dadlies better, honestly. I feel like
I
it's
do.
much stupider.
I would
do
love to
too,
do-
but I feel like if I didn't address that's the obvious one, then
I don't want to call anything the daddies.
Mick, now I'm thinking of Mick.
Hey babe, tonight can you call me Dadly?
That's
All right,
fucking
where's the
great.
quotes channel? Ah, there it is.
Well, that escalated quickly.
I actually unironically love the idea of us taking our favorite video game dads and putting them in a bracket. Like
Oh my god, God of War.
God of War. We take God of War. We take Octodad.
dude,
We
It
get.
has to be Dad of Boy.
There's a bunch of other dads.
Actually, I like the idea of doing that actually a lot.
back
Yeah.
when I
Liam Neeson, Fallout 3.
back
I'll
when
play
I
an Homer
made,
Simpson from Road Rage.
back when I ran Anime Club, I just like kind of out of nowhere was like, all right, guys, so we're gonna do Dad Week this week, and I just put on dad themed anime.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember I did my
first name.
ran my first event. My dad.
You're right, why did I
themed-
put your first name? I don't know why.
No, it has to stay like that now. All right.
Okay.
Anyway,
Oh my god. Alright, we go to the losers bracket. And that means we're starting off with Bayonetta 2 versus From Dust.
Just pull the trigger.
Okay. Unless anybody has anything to say. The voting order is shifted to Clanky.
I'm gonna vote for From Dust.
I'm so surprised.
What? Okay.
Look, you pitched it really well, Mick. I put it on my wish list on Steam. I want to play this game now.
Okay, cool.
Alright, Graham.
Bayonetta 2.
Taylor.
Bayonetta 2.
And Christian.
finally, Taylor, I can vote for one of your games. Bayonetta 2.
And Mick for posterity.
From Dust. I'm kind of happy about this.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Taylor sad.
No, Taylor Sad is bad. It's
That's
very
nice.
bad.
That's like the nicest thing ever.
Okay. Yours just got annihilated, and now, with my luck, mine is about to. So, Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, or the Colossus versus Midi Metro. Anything else need to be said about either of these other than please, guys?
This is when I come back. This is when I come back for the
A
mini
tuppence.
vehicle series.
So tuppence, yes. Now I'm in lame is.
Mercy for the Paul was in child.
Oh God, I'm gonna break into I dreamed a dream.
I am what I am.
No, not I am what I am. I dreamed,
I dreamed a dream from Les Miserables.
Yeah.
You mean Les Miserables?
You mean
That's where we're getting to the
Joe?
Clanky.
I am going for Mini Metro, and we're gonna do it.
Thanks, man. Graham.
Middle Earth.
Yeah. Taylor.
I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. Mini Metro.
Okay. Christian.
Come back to me.
Neither are developers of Middle Earth.
Mick.
It's very Tolkien would like roll in his grave.
Roll in his grave.
I skipped Christian, which means Mick.
Tolkien is Rolkin.
Tolkien would. I was literally about to say that.
He's Rolkining in his grave.
I just processed this now.
If Middle Earth makes a comeback victory, can we make
Because
the
of
subtitle to this Tolkien rolking in his grave?
We
I
have
think
so
so.
many potential titles. This is one of the, like the
We've
most.
so many.
This is the most jokes I think we've ever had. Like most banger jokes we've
This
ever
is
had.
so good. This
That's
is
not
you
fair.
call me
We cut out all the funny jokes in that one.
Yeah, the shit.
I didn't cut all of them. Mick.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna vote for. Hey, Graham.
Yep.
The combat in Shadow of War, it's like Arkham, right?
Yes.
Hang on.
But with more like I would say ranged options and like teleporting and
Cool, understood. Mini Metro.
It says it's an RPG. Is that true?
it's an action RPG. Like you have like a character, like you can like add skill points you can put into your character. It's like that.
All right.
I think I'm gonna come back to me.
Well, I guess I have to make up my mind. I'll just say.
Hey, no, guys. Sidebar.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess we could try to
Okay.
squeeze this out again. I mean,
So at the moment, what is it? It's
I'm leaning towards Mordor, but I don't want to vote for it yet.
Mini Metro is 2, Mordor is 1.
Okay. So
Mini Metro.
It's
is
funnier
this
if it
game. The
loses.
fun lasts forever.
You can play it so many times and
Charts.
never get tired of losing.
Various charts.
And the charts tell you things, Christian. You know you love that.
The
And
Nemesis
you get to
system is
make different types
cool.
of trains. You can make a bullet train in some.
Shadow of Mordor has some stinky goblins in it, but Mini
Alright.
Metro, no
I'm
way.
voting.
Mini Metro has some stinky goblins. in it.
I'm-
Goblins are a selling point.
I'm voting for a Mini Metro.
Thank you, Christian.
cool. I'm voting for Shadow of Mordor.
All right.
Tolkien.
My wild
Rolkin.
card made it out of the. This almost never happens.
Middle Earth is Rolkining in his grave.
Yep. Oh.
Final
Christopher,
Fantasy.
my boy, did I ever tell you the full story of Shelob?
I had an interesting boner that day. Okay.
Well, plus,
We
let's
go-
be honest with ourselves. Mini Metro is going to play better on the Odyssey.
Yes. It is.
Okay, yes. I'll
Better.
grant you that Mini Metro is probably going to play way better on the Magnavox Odyssey than Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor.
Ah, yes.
I
Finally,
will grant
game
you that
14.
one.
By that, it would last only 3 seconds and then explode instead of 2 seconds.
I think
So we
if
move
you
on
put
now.
the Magnavox Odyssey in the same room as Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor would explode.
How is this our fucking running gag?
The Magnavox Odyssey.
Towerfall Ascension versus Mario and Rabbids Kingdom of the Colossus.
Kingdom of the Colossus.
I like having it. It works.
Just getting Colossus in random titles.
We start.
Can I just say, I'm not laughing at this. I'm laughing because I just remembered Nutting Associated.
What?
I'm laughing because I just remembered Nutting.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Look, Julius is escaping.
Yo, it's Wendigo Wednesdays.
It's Thursday!
Taylor, help.
I'm sorry, I'm Rolkining in my grave.
Clanky, fucking vote.
It's my vote?
I think so,
Oh,
right?
my bad.
We've been starting with you, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. This is very, very tough. Actually, no, it's not. I'm sorry. That now it's gonna sound mean when I say my answer, and I don't mean it like that. But it's Towerfall.
Okay.
Absolutely, it's meaner now.
Yeah, you and Taylor around the same time for a while. Grim.
Honestly, I think I give them Mario and Rabbids just because like I like XCOM. I don't mind the Rabbids. I played Rabbids Go Home all the way to completion.
Rabbids Go Home is, in my opinion, I haven't played Kingdom Battle, but in my opinion, it's the only good Rabbids game I've played.
Outside of Kingdom Battle, Rabbids Go Home is a very good game.
Every time I try to remember playing it, it feels like a fever dream. But
they had they had Capri Sun ads in that game. It was kind of weird.
I have like these passing fantasies where if I start a YouTube channel for literally no good reason, Rabbids Go Home has to be my first video.
Taylor, it is your vote, by the way.
You know what? The time to say something clever passed. So Mario and Rabbids.
It's okay. Christian.
I'm voting for Towerfall because I put it on here.
Mm-hmm. And Mick gets to break the tie.
Oh, no.
Do it, Mick. Vote for a Mario game.
This is break the mold.
Do it.
You already have something named Fall.
Kill him.
Fuck it. As a great man once said, Bwah.
That's
what is happening in this?
That is a vote for Mario and Rabbids.
What is happening in this Yearlies?
All right. Can I get my third out of round one? Guys.
Golf Story versus Titanfall 2.
Golf! You sport it up real good. Put it on a tee. Hit the gopher. And get a divorce.
Were you quoting Robin Williams, but just then?
That was a Taylor original.
Okay, because it sounded like a Robin Williams bit. I'll send it to you after this.
Also, Clanky, that was a quote from Rabbit number 4.
I see. Thank you.
You think Rabbit number 4's favorite game is game number 4?
On the Magnavox Odyssey? You bet it is.
Okay, once again, I'm begging you. Someone vote, please.
Hold on, I have like a little Titanfall too. It has you can get like a grapple launcher. You can like swing around with it. It is fucking amazing.
You can also do that in Bionic Commando.
What did you say, Mick?
I said, how did we not mention the grappling hook until now?
Grappling hook? Why the fuck didn't you guys open with that?
I don't know.
Honestly, as Graham kept talking, I kind of just like phased out my mind, and I hoped that it would pick it up somehow or at some point.
Guys, the Titan fell.
I'm pissed on the Titan.
I think that's it for the Yearlies, everyone. Hope you had a good night.
I think Clanky goes first.
Clanky, yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Clanky, before you vote, I mean this genuinely. Golf Story seems like has the kind of charm that I come to expect from your personality, and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah. No, that's why, here's the thing, right? Is that, first-person shooters, to me, aren't the most engaging games, but, every now and then, there's a first-person shooter that just clicks with me. It happened with TF2, it happened with Left 4 Dead, it happened with Doom 2016. And
maybe it'll happen with TF2 again.
But my point is that, I've been told by many people that Titanfall 2 is the kind of first-person shooter that I would like. But Golf Story is also, just look at it. This looks like you said, Taylor, it looks like a Clanky game. So, this is a genuinely tough one for me. Can we actually skip me?
Sure. Yes.
We'll come back to you, but
we will come back to you.
We'll not skip you.
That's fair. For now, skip me for now.
Your vote has been burned.
I'm gonna go vote for Titan Y'all too.
Okay. We're getting the two people whose picks these are out of the way first. Taylor?
Let me tell you all a story about a golf I knew. Got a big-ass tee and a big-ass crew cut.
He's going to be at this for a while, just to put it on.
I thought you were going to say big
Kyle, I thought you were supposed to be muted during the voting.
Fuck you.
Listen,
got him.
I'm going to join the Titanfall crew and go Titanfall 2.
Would you enjoy Golf Story, Christian?
I have no idea. I think I would think it's mid.
Oh!
Well, just for that, Mick.
I was hoping for just a passing, like, hey, you did your best, Taylor.
No, Taylor, you did a great job pitching it. Like, when the fuck have I ever played a golf game? Like,
are you not a golf
Eugene
game
Levy's
guy?
golf?
No.
Taylor, I just want to let you know, I want to play Golf Story at some point. I'd love to play Golf Story with you at some point.
I appreciate
Titanfall
it.
2.
Well, Clanky.
Why did I assume Christian was a golf game guy?
Yeah, why would you make
Christian,
that
you
assumption?
strike me as a golf game guy.
I like tennis games more than golf games.
Yeah, but you strike me as
That sounds like an insult. You're a golf game guy, Christian.
Christian, would you play power tennis?
No,
Power
Clanky,
tennis?
I love Mario Power Tennis.
True or false?
Bro!
Was Christian, were Clanky, Christian, and Mick not all in a group chat? And Christian just goes, Mick, you strike me as a Frogger guy.
Yeah.
That is also as equally insulting, so that's fair.
And I was actually genuinely hurt that he considered me a Frogger guy, because I have had something against that fucking...
that fucking frog fuck.
Oh my god, we're
for
gonna
7
get
years.
There's no fractions either.
I don't know if a
Clanky.
Frogger game will
Clanky,
make it
you're
onto
over
any of
us,
these
sorry.
brackets, but if it does, I expect us all to be polite and respectful.
Okay. Clanky, you're both of us, sorry.
I'll give it to Golf Story.
Okay, cool. Amazing. All right. Let's go on, please, to Until Dawn versus Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions of the Colossus. And before we vote on this, I just need to point out another Larry Fessenden fact. In the 2007 film The Brave One, starring Jodie Foster, Larry plays a character named Sandy Combs. Larry has unkempt hair. How he combs, I have no idea. We should... The voting order is changed. Graham starts this one.
In Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, Ultimate Electro shows up, and he becomes a big, giant god of electricity. He says, I am a god. Spider-Man goes, you are a god without pants!
I love Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man.
Yes. Taylor.
Come back to me.
Okay. Christian.
Until Dawn.
Okay. Mick.
That pants gag really spoke to him.
With great power comes great Shadow of the Colossus. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Clanky.
With great power comes great Until Dawn.
Yes, and it's back.
It's
to-
2-2.
Yes.
You know what?
What?
Until Dawn.
Interesting. Okay.
Alrighty.
Wendigo stays
I
alive.
am shocked by that.
You know, it's two things. First of all, Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions is like, I don't think I'm ever gonna play that. Honestly, it's like
No, you won't. You won't.
and second, like I've seen the story of Until Dawn, so I've endured the horror torture, so now I can kind of identify it as a complete story.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think about it a lot, and I'm not haunted by it, and like I think it's got neat ideas, and you know, there's something to that, and you know, Larry Fessenden, whatever, who cares?
Yeah. All right.
God, my favorite.
Yeah, of course. All right, we go on to damn it, this is our running gag. El-Shaddai Ascension of the Colossus versus Gato Roboto.
I love this gag.
Anytime the title's cut off, I just add up the Colossus.
Jordan, you missed an amazing El-Shaddai Ascension of the Colossus and Shadow Roboto.
Yes. Shadow Roboto. Okay, that means that Graham goes first.
Like El-Shaddai is like weirdly, for some reason, like a weirdly same place to me as Spider Shattered Dimensions, because I remember hearing about El-Shaddai on G4, the original G4.
Wow.
So yeah, I feel like I have like a weird nostalgia for it. Versus like again, I still don't exactly know what Gato Roboto is.
So if I could say one thing, the infamous, obscure and unexplained biblical figures, the Nephilim, show up in El-Shaddai, where instead of being mighty demigod-like heroes as they're portrayed in the Bible, are instead giant hot dog men.
So wait, Graham, you voted for El-Shaddai?
I voted for El-Shaddai.
Okay. Taylor.
Yeah, come back to me again.
Okay. Christian.
El-Shaddai. Sorry, Clanky.
Really? Okay. Oh wait, no, I confused Gato Roboto and Mick.
What with puss?
El-Shaddai.
And Clanky.
It hurts. Gato Roboto.
And back to Taylor.
Well, now that I know it's for posterity, salt and pepper.
Gato Roboto, I forget.
Yeah.
You know what, Clanky? I feel bad. I feel like there's a little more value in El-Shaddai for me. They both are doing it for visuals for me. I think I'm a little more eager to play El-Shaddai.
Alright, so I'll take that game back that I bought for you then. No, I'm kidding.
That's
just
so
appears in your
Clanky,
house
that's
and just
so
grabs it.
scary. Like, fucking, I'm gonna take away your stuff.
We're adding briberies to the Yearlies. We'll see how that goes.
That'll be fun.
Also, incidentally, what was the threat you made?
Clanky
I said I
bought me Gato Roboto, so
I know.
he's
I
threatening
said I
to
was
take
gonna
it back.
take it back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to his hard drive. And
If I
find
can't-
the part
if
of
I
the
don't
hard
vote
drive
for
that
it-
has Gato Roboto on
No,
it.
no. I was gonna say because it sounded like you said I'm gonna go to his house, and I'm gonna be like, "Good luck. He's not even in his house."
Yeah, actually, do me a favor. Please don't go to my house because just the act of being there will delay the construction even more. And
You know
just
what they
please,
say.
that's like the meanest thing you could do is go to my house right now.
You know what they say: revenge is a dish best served cold.
Revenge is a dish best served Gato.
Why did they put the cold dish in the oven and the hot dish out the hot food?
Why do they call it an oven when you of out the cold food, of out hot eat the food?
I hate you all. Okay, guys, sensible here. Walking versus Anno 1800.
I'm so upset you didn't say Walking of the Colossus. Oh,
Because I can see the title.
oh, you're right. Fuck. I have one last thing to say about Walking. First of all, did I genuinely hurt anyone by talking about Walking so much?
No, the fact that the game exists upsets me.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure. You can let me know, and I'll try to keep
It's
my
okay.
horror
It's nothing
game
you did, but
descriptions
it's just-
lesser from now on.
I'm just not going to include any footage or music from the game because I don't want to Google it and risk infecting my computer.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. If anything, I would provide you all that stuff anyway. So, but you probably don't want to look at it, so I don't think you'd want it anyway.
Jordan, are you too squeamish for walking?
It just sounds so damn scary.
Oh no,
That's good.
I thought you had a good. I thought you had a pretty high built tolerance for that stuff. I wasn't
Yes,
sure.
but this is.
If it starts to get fucky with things it shouldn't be fucky with.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't like.
Fair enough.
I will say, Walking, I don't believe it was Kanaguti's first game. Kanoguti is actually mostly someone who makes music. And mostly makes MIDI tunes and sort of real cool stuff. They made a remix of Ripple Star that I really, really like.
He's the Flying Lotus of video games.
Yes, exactly. And so he often combines his music with his games, and it's really interesting. There is one other game he made, if you're okay with me going into one last scary thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Called Why. A game that is much scarier the first time you play it, but then kind of loses its effect after 5 minutes, where you are shoved in a room with about 2 to 20 mannequins, and every time you blink, the room changes.
Oh.
And that's all I'll say.
Oh, God.
So, we can vote now.
Okay, Graham.
As much as I love walking,
I like
something about
running better.
I love walking. I play
Walking's
Death
great.
Stranding.
I like running better.
I've always wanted games that are more trade focus.
That's
So-
Anno, right?
Anno.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor.
I know.
I don't care.
But you should care because if the scary game wins,
No, and that's ultimately what it is. I guess Anno. Hemp is fun to say.
yeah. Oh no. Christian.
Walking.
Okay. Mick.
Anno.
And Clanky.
Walking.
Okay. 3-2. The evil is defeated for now.
But the true battle begins in the losers round 2.
Oh hell! Oh no! That's
Round
not go well at
19,
all.
boys.
That's not
The Battle
at
of the
all.
Titans.
Mark your
Oh,
calendars.
Pedestrians
I'm gonna-
versus public transport.
You know, Mick, I will say that if that were to happen, I might shed some tears.
Okay.
Oh God.
Okay, we're back up here. Versus Touhou Rhythm Carnival.
Oh, another thing I have to say about Touhou Rhythm Carnival. There is one game in Touhou Rhythm Carnival, where you freeze frogs. It's a lot like the like frogs like hop off platform and you freeze them. It's a lot like the penguin hopping game from Rhythm Heaven. A lot of these games actually have a lot of like Rhythm Heaven allegories. Like
Which one is the penguin hopping?
It's from
Oh,
Tengoku.
like-
The penguins
yeah,
up.
it's basically exactly like that, except the frogs can stack on top of each other, and like you get red frogs that go like meep, 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 and green
I don't think
frogs
you
that
need
go
to sell
meep.
for this one, Christian.
No, I
feel
don't
like
care.
this
I
one's-
just want to talk about it, and like
Okay, but we're on a time limit.
I guess we're on a time limit. Let me just wrap it up by saying this is probably my second favorite rhythm game that exists, besides
I love
something that was shown off on my boss list.
I love your impression of the frogs.
Yeah, I couldn't go more into it, but it's one of my favorite things, and it's another thing I would love to share with people when we get the chance. So,
Okay.
yeah.
We start with Gurm.
FTL.
Taylor.
Touhou.
Okay. Christian.
Touhou.
Mick.
Come back to me.
Clanky.
FTL.
Oh,
Mick,
fuck!
back to you.
I'm giving it to FTL because I played it.
Fuck!
Okay.
You know, this is not the first time that you struggled so desperately to decide between something that I'm pretty sure you'd like versus a rhythm game, which, again, I'm pretty sure you do not like.
No,
Here's the
no.
thing. I have played FTL, and I didn't exactly warm to it.
I see.
Titanfall 2 versus Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Oh no.
Who are we starting with?
Now we're starting with Taylor.
The D in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions looks like it's the emoticon for, like, an unhappy face.
Yeah, it's
when you
what I'm
put
going
the
to be if
colons
Mini
next to
Metro
it.
is just a walk. Walking.
I'll sooner play Titanfall 2 than Shattered Dimensions.
Okay. Christian.
Titanfall 2.
Mick.
Titanfall 2.
Mm,
Well, that was quick.
Clanky.
And Titanfall 2.
Graham.
You just say I vote for both since it doesn't matter.
No.
You gotta vote for one.
Spiderfall 2.
Graham.
Clicks
I'm
gun.
not photoshopping-
Vote for
I'm not
one.
photoshopping that.
Spider-Man.
Okay. 4-1. Gato Roboto versus Mario and Rabbids Kingdom of the Colossus.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yes.
Mario and Rabbids Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Let's go.
I want to know.
That's the bad one, right?
No.
According
Yes.
to everybody
yes.
Christian, have you seen that one yet? Because I know you were in the one.
No, I have still only seen the first three. So.
One of these days we should watch it together because I don't think it's that.
Oh God, yeah. All right.
It is
Watch
definitely
party.
worse
Let's
than
do
the
it.
4, but that's not really saying much because
Yeah.
they're all
It's
great
still pretty
movies.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're
all
awesome.
good.
Okay. Taylor.
I disagree, but whatever.
Yeah, okay. Taylor.
If I vote for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, will Clanky still let me play Gato Roboto?
Clanky. I mean, to that question, not the vote.
Yeah.
I don't like the way he said that.
Charlie Day was here for a second.
Why don't I play it safe? I vote for Final Fantasy. Shut up!
Callback.
Mario
Fantasy
Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Yes, Christian.
Gato Roboto.
Mm-hmm. Mick.
Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Okay. Wow.
Bwah.
Clanky.
Gonna be Gato Roboto.
And Graham.
Mario.
Okay.
Oh.
I actually
Well,
didn't think it was gonna make it through. I thought it was gonna
Hey.
get filtered right there.
I thought I knew Gato Roboto was getting knocked off, but I'm happy
All right.
Bwah.
Until Dawn and FTL are still in the winners bracket.
All right.
Jordan, no
Well,
hard
the
feelings, no
mess
matter
we
which way this
made.
goes.
When it all went wrong.
You know,
I feel
no.
like this is like Jordan versus a mortal enemy all of a sudden.
So, who goes first?
Well, I got to say the thing so that I can actually put up the
Oh.
covers when I edit this. Walking versus Mini Metro. I think instead of the cover of Walking, I've just put a picture of myself giving the middle finger.
But you gotta at least put the cover of the game. It's just a room.
Yeah, I probably will. Walking versus Mini Metro, starting with Taylor.
I'll vote for Mini Metro, Jordan.
Thank you, Taylor. Christian.
Walking.
Mick.
Mini Metro.
Clanky.
Mini Metro.
Graham.
Walking.
At least it wasn't a 4-1. At least it wasn't a 4-1.
Did you just throw out a small nuclear?
Yeah, it's amazing.
You got what you wanted. You don't need to go nuclear.
I know, but I just wanted to do it anyway.
Win or lose.
Yeah, because it's a good song. Wow, I didn't think that was going to happen.
I kind of did.
I knew.
I was expecting that to be the awful thing, but all right.
No,
I don't
it's
care
okay.
who it do now. Touhou Rhythm Carnival versus Bayonetta 2. Oh, that's going to set up something even better if that happens again. Starting with Taylor. Well,
I think Bayonetta 2 is a neatly polished, fine-tuned gem of an action game that any fan of the genre can enjoy. And also, I will say, I feel like it's very much its own thing.
okay. That's a vote for Touhou Rhythm Carnival.
Jordan, I voted for Mini Metro. Don't make me take it back.
I'm joking. Buddy.
Can we even take it back? I wonder if we could.
I'll sue you.
I tried to take a vote back, and you all said no.
Well, yeah.
All right, you know, guys, it takes away my authority when you call me out on my lies.
I feel like we should take away your authority just on principle.
Well, you have none in the first place.
That's why I want to do it.
4-6
Okay,
majority
you
vote to
voted for
take away
Bayonetta.
Taylor's
Kyle is
authority.
just gunning for everyone's jobs
Gamers
today.
rise up.
Now the most oppressed group will rise up. The gamers.
I vote for Bayonetta 2.
Christian.
I vote for Touhou Rhythm Carnival.
What voice is that? Is that your Ro Raggy?
That's my desperation voice. This is my last thing, and I fucking love this game, and I'm gonna be sad when it's gone. So
Okay.
please don't let it die.
Christian,
I
two
will
people
try.
here hate Bayonetta a lot. Let's see what happens.
Okay, Mick.
Who are the
I
two
don't hate
people that hate
Bayonetta.
You
Prove it.
dislike it greatly.
So I'm voting for Touhou Rhythm Carnival because it's not sexy.
Are you
Sexy
sure?
is useful.
I looked it up. Yeah, it's not.
Depends on most people's definition of sexy. Clanky.
Oh, dude.
That's fair. But Jordan, I'm allowed within 600 feet of a school. So
Wait a minute.
Clanky,
You're
if I can
saying
say-
that like I'm not.
Clanky, if I can say,
Mick,
you
what
can
do know
trust
that
me
I
with
don't?
Rhythm Heaven opinions,
Christian,
right?
you-
I'm wondering what angle.
Christian,
it's
do you
going here.
genuinely have any doubt which way Clanky is going to go?
It sounded like
Yeah.
he was having a struggle.
No, I really don't.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'm voting for Touhou.
Oh,
I've
thank
like
you.
never once heard him
Graham.
like give the smallest dollop of respect to Bayonetta.
Bayonetta.
What are you talking about? I just
3-2.
haven't said anything about it.
Not tonight, but like in past conversations.
We're doing
I just
losers
don't like the
first?
character in Smash.
We
That's
are doing
really
losers
it.
first.
Bottom up, or does it matter?
Bottom up.
Bottom up.
Okay. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom of the Shadow of the
Kingdom of the
the
Crystal
Planet
Skull.
of the Apes versus Titanfall 2.
Mario and Rabbids Kingdom for the War for the Planet of the War of the Apes.
Yes. We start with Christian this.
Titanfall 2.
Mick.
Titanfall 2.
Clanky.
I'll give it to Titanfall.
Well, Graham.
Titanfall.
Taylor.
All around me are familiar faces. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
That was
The
great.
Bwah has fallen.
You know,
Long
the thing
live
about
the
that
Bwah.
is I find it kind of funny and I find it the dreams in which my wild card is dying are the best card I've ever had. Touhou Rhythm Carnival versus Mini Metro.
Alright, maybe now I can do that Clanky pitch, because maybe I need it now. Clanky, I just want to say, you know me, you know how many Rhythm Heaven games I played. When I say that a game is just as good as Rhythm Heaven, if not like if not on par with like DS. That doesn't come lightly. Like I don't just award that to anything. You know.
Neither does Graham.
I didn't. That's all I had to say.
Okay. Mini Metro recognizes Australia.
You know what? I can't argue with that.
So it can go either way, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Is that a point in favor or a point against?
I think it's a point in favor. I mean, does it recognize New Zealand is the question.
Yeah, I think it does Wellington as well.
Oh. Not all
I think-
people do
I don't know, I haven't
That
played
was
it
in
all.
Mini Motorways, actually, so now it's ripping off the game that came out after it.
Well, to be fair, I think the developers are from Ocean, so, but don't quote me on that.
No, I think they are, because when they updated it, when they updated Mini Motorways with Wellington, they said, like, we added our hometown.
Oh, they're Kiwis. Okay. Are we in this? Oh yeah, we hadn't even started. Christian.
I'm first? I forget. Oh yeah, I am first. Touhou
this
Rhythm
one.
Carnival. With much love and
Thank you.
respect to Mini Metro.
Of course, it's had a nice run. Mick.
Mini Metro.
Okay. Clanky.
Come back to me.
Yeah.
Of course.
Saw that one coming.
Graham.
Mini Metro.
Taylor.
Yeah, Touhou.
Oh!
Clanky. Buddy, old pal.
See, this
I
is
don't
the
even
issue,
care.
right? Is that Mini Metro is like Mini Motorways, but with trains. That's kick-ass.
Yes.
And Touhou is Rhythm Heaven. But it looks like 2008 Newgrounds.
Oh, it looks so much better in motion. I'm sorry.
Okay, look, I didn't mean that as a negative, okay? I love Newgrounds art style. I think
Okay,
it's great.
that's good.
But
Whatever you do, I won't be upset. Just pick what your
I'm not
heart
upset
follows.
either. I'm just glad I made it up.
I won't be upset at you. I will be generally upset, but I will not be upset at you. It's just...
I'm enjoying myself. It's all good.
I am giving it to I'm gonna give it to Mini Metro.
Fuck! Son of a fucking
It
bitch.
does play
Pizza's
better
on
on
me,
the
buddy.
Odyssey.
I'm sorry.
Son of
Wow.
a fuck.
I'm
Wow.
sorry.
Hey,
Sorry,
Christian,
I'm
can I ask you?
sorry.
What?
And I don't mean this to rub salt in the wound. I'm just genuinely asking for your opinion.
Okay.
Because to be honest, Touhou at this point was one of the things I could see winning the most. But would you really have wanted like a Rhythm Heaven like thing to be a representative?
Yes! Yes!
Is it-
It's really good.
All right. And just like, isn't it technically a Flash game?
Who cares?
All right. Okay.
Okay.
I-
Games are
I'm done.
actually Flash games.
I'm done.
Anno 1800 versus faster than light. We still start with Christian, I think.
We do. And I'm gonna vote for FTL.
Okay. Mick.
Anno.
Mm-hmm. Clanky.
FTL.
Graham.
FTL.
And Taylor.
It doesn't matter, right?
Doesn't matter
Nope.
at all.
I was gonna ask Mick to sell me on Anno some more, but if I can avoid that, then I'll just vote for Anno.
Okay.
Yeah, fight the lemurs.
That's what FTL stands for?
Yeah.
Wow. But it stands for, fuck the...
Fuck
Lemons.
this life.
You know, I probably should have voted for FTL, honestly.
Until Dawn versus El-Shaddai. And I have to pull up another Larry Fessenden fact because I did that. So I'm just going to find one right now. Anyway, Larry Fessenden was on an episode of Louis as Upset Man. That's because he's upset. Until Dawn versus El-Shaddai. Christian, right? Yeah.
Until Dawn.
Yes. Mick.
El-Shaddai.
Clanky.
Until Dawn.
Graham.
Until Dawn.
Taylor.
I'm bummed because if I hadn't gone last, I wanted to say I'd like to see El-Shaddai win this bracket.
It's still possible.
Still possible, for sure.
Wow. Okay. We go to Okay, yeah. We go down to El-Shaddai versus Mini Mitch. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might win this bracket now. We start now with Mick.
El-Shaddai.
Clanky.
Mini Metro.
Graham.
El-Shaddai.
Taylor.
Should I?
Oh yeah.
Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum.
Should I?
Shaddai.
And
That sounded just like Emperor Palpatine.
Thank
It was
you.
amazing. I assume that was a vote, and
Yeah, El Shaddai.
I will also
And-
be voting for El-Shaddai.
what a run!
Jordan,
What
I
a
tried
run.
my best.
It was a-
it was a genuine run.
It
all
was
right?
a
The
good
real
run.
victory was winning
Yeah.
over Touhou.
You have to give me credit.
Don't be
I
mean
did
to
really
Touhou.
gun for Mini Metro at the end
And
there.
I'm very thankful for you. This is a victory in itself that it got to round.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Wow, I'm satisfied. Anno 1800 versus Titanfall 2. We start with Mick, who's voting.
Anno 18.
Clanky.
Titanfall 2.
Graham.
Titanfall 2.
Mm-hmm. Taylor.
The Titans have fallen.
And
Twice.
Christian.
Titanfall 2. Something clever here.
Wow. Okay. So we do we do the losers round 5 or do we do
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, this is our final 4. Insane. El-Shaddai, Ascension of Greg
Metatron.
versus Titanfall 2. We start still with Mick.
El-Shaddai.
Mm-hmm. Clanky.
I'm gonna give it to Titanfall.
Okay. Graham.
Titanfall.
Taylor.
But should I? El Shaddai.
And Christian.
I'm gonna give this one to Titanfall.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But Christian. Okay.
Wow.
Mick, I've never been on your side more,
Yeah.
Whew. Well,
and I'm sorry.
now
Are these
Until Dawn.
I was about to say, are these all Graham picks? But no, Until Dawn was a Clanky pick, right?
Until Dawn versus
Hold on, and
oh,
FTL. We're both.
Oh, Graham was
Until
so
Dawn versus
enthusiastic.
FTL. And for the record, Larry Fessenden was also in a movie called Satan Hates You, which that's a great title for a movie.
Satan, what's you?
Hates You.
Oh, okay.
So that's fun.
For a second, I thought you said Satan 2. I was like, wow, they made a sequel?
How depressing.
Satan 2. This time it's Sataner. We still start with Mick.
Come back to me. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. Clanky.
I mean, look, I like Until Dawn. It's great, but I like FTL more.
Graham.
FTL.
Taylor.
What's the score?
2-0 so far, FTL.
If we bring Larry Fessender with us into the final bracket, that could be fun. Until Dawn.
Christian.
I like all of 3 of these games that are now pitched before me, but I think
Yeah.
I gotta give it to Until Dawn for now.
Which means it's down to...
I'm the tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
We never heard from
He was attacked by Wendigos off screen.
Exit pursued by Wendigo.
Larry Shakespeare.
Until Dawn.
Ooh, Until Dawn. Okay. So we have Faster Than Light versus Titanfall 2. We start now with Clanky.
FTL.
Mm-hmm. Graham.
Titanfall 2.
Taylor.
Ah! That's the sound I make when I Titanfall, too.
Oh, true.
Great gag going, Christian.
We give it to FTL.
Which means, once again, Mick has to break the tie.
There's a spy set. Sorry, wrong one.
Wrong.
Titanfall 2.
TF2.
Wrong TF2. You see, even I got that. Which means the
This
final
is
two
wild.
is Until Dawn versus Titanfall 2. What a final two this is.
I'm just shocked that the game that I chose because of an accident has made it to the end of the bracket.
Hey, our love of Wendigos has propelled it all the way.
No, it's great. I'm not complaining. I do like Until Dawn, you know?
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is a very fun. Because before it was going in, I was kind of going, what if Until Dawn makes it to the end? And now here we are.
Well, then it would justify Bayonetta 2 dying.
It would justify Mini Metro dying as well.
Justify all my games dying.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing. All games die except for one.
Yeah.
Everybody dies frustrated and sad, and that they might be
When?
giants.
Yeah, and that is beautiful. That part cut out. Oh,
Sorry.
it's okay.
Who's going first?
Clanky's going first.
Until Dawn.
Okay. Graham.
Titanfall 2.
Taylor.
I'm protecting the pilot.
Taylor.
Come back to me.
Got it. Christian.
Since it is the last vote, I will say, for some massive respect for both these games and most of the games in this bracket, I'm voting for Until Dawn because it kind of had an unfair advantage of being a game that I sort of have a almost nostalgic connection to. And because of that, it's Until Dawn City. Let's go.
Mick.
Titanfall 2.
Which means Taylor. Buddy, it is down to you.
You decide who wins the honorable mentions of the
Won.
2010s.
You decide.
Was that an epic rap battles of history?
It was. It was.
My God, that was in the
How
way back of my
long
brain.
has it been?
10 years.
It's been 3 hours, 3 minutes, and 12 seconds.
It's been 7 hours.
It's been 1 week since you looked at
Yes.
me.
I love how
After
I
this
went for
exercise,
Sinead
I'm
O'Connor, you
angry.
went bare naked lady. That shows you where.
Here's my conundrum. I feel like one of these games I might sooner rather play, and the other I would enjoy talking about much more frequently.
Okay.
And I feel like it's not fair to vote for the one I'd rather talk about more because
What?
that's not choosing the game that I think I'd enjoy playing more. And I feel like that's probably what's most important. I want so badly to do I want so badly though? I don't want so badly to keep talking about Larry Fassbender. I just think it would be cool to keep talking about Larry Fassbender. I don't think I've gotten his name right once tonight.
I think you've been meaning to get it wrong.
I don't. I actually haven't. The first time, a couple times maybe. And the winner of the game of the decade, 2010's, Magnavox Odyssey Salt and Pepper presents Titanfall 2.
Woo!
I've won 2 brackets in a row, baby.
That is true. Graham has won 2.
I don't feel
Titanfall
great about it.
2.
Congrats.
These were not the 2 things I would put at the top, but I respect them
I
both enough as individual.
Never in a
video games.
million years did I think Titanfall 2 would win.
I mean, look, these are not the things I would have put at the top either, but the things that I would have put at the top, you all would fucking look at me with bug eyes if I had fucking
This was
walking in the final
weird.
rounds.
Bugman
This was
eyes.
a weird.
I'm really surprised. I don't know.
I thought you guys were all gonna go really artsy and meta, and walking was gonna win.
I fear
Fuck
it.
no.
Listen, walking is great. Walking had no chance.
I
Yeah.
put it on because I
First
wanted
round
to
scared
talk
me.
about it.
Yeah. Honestly, I was kind of hoping El-Shaddai would have gone further, but you know.
That's my thing. Listen, guys, when we do our ultimate bracket, you're gonna want a familiar face like Larry, but it's like, is that enough? Because then it's just then we're banking on nostalgia beating other quality games, and I don't want to do that to the Yearlies.
Yeah.
Graham, are you
The
already
game-
Graham, have you already decided, all right, thing's over, I'm going to go play Civilization now.
Look, for some reason, like ever since like you talk about Anno, like for some reason that inspired me. Like now I want to play. Like I've never played Civ like harder than like Chieftain.
Mhm.
For some
Okay.
reason, I want to try. I want to try a hard.
I think
Oh.
he took. I think he. I thought he was gonna play Titanfall 2 and like just take a victory lap. Jordan, unspoiler your entries.
Oh.
It's
What
Jordan
entry?
this time who didn't unspoiler.
Hang on, let me do that. Fucking hell.
That's fine. As Jordan is unspoiling the entries, we reach the end of a celebration of the last 10 years of Yearlies. I don't think any of us thought when we started this we would make it this far, but we've been having a lot of fun with these, and we're not stopping. We will hit you back next time with 2020. I think we're gonna go right into 2020, right?
Yeah,
Are we?
that sounds good to me.
Wow,
Sure.
cool.
But before we go, there's something I would like to show all of you. My favorite bit of box art.
Good night, everybody.
Guys,
And